Thanks, Dave.
You're looking at St. Hours, is that right, Neil?
Yes,
Yeah,
Harry and Deborah.
I think we were looking at on his original old assessment, the condition was F,
Right.
and then it went to A. And usually when they make that change,
But
It's-
he also had physical depreciation that went from 40 to down to 26 with the new tax cards.
yeah, so I think what David's gonna run,
Is that because of the classification change?
potentially,
Okay.
I don't know, David's gonna go run the tax card with condition F, factor 90 and physical depreciation 40% since,
Oh, at 40?
since nothing's really changed.
Okay,
And
see
see
what it does.
what number that comes back with.
Cool.
Which one are y'all working on?
The first one, St. Hours, this is the one where he went in and it had gone up like 68%, and then he talked to him, and then it went up
Yeah.
88% in the
More.
end.
Right.
So David's gonna go, it seems like that was potentially a mistake
Oh,
for it
this
to go
is
from
it.
F to A, because there's nothing marked. Usually when he makes
I
a
don't know.
change, he circles it and
I don't know what this is.
notes the
doing.
change that he's gonna make. So he's gonna change the condition, the factor, and the physical depreciation
That was
back
the creek in
to
front of his
what
house.
was
And-
on the original assessment, and see where the
He
number
was
comes
making a
in.
point.
Yeah,
that
the outside of that
there ain't
house
much
is pretty
creek.
rough.
Yeah.
I believe it.
That's a mud hole.
Yes,
It is,
ma'am.
it's pretty much mud. I was trying to
She said the
remember, of
same
course, that
thing.
was, 3 years
They
ago.
might have been there.
The inside of the house wasn't bad from what I
Hello.
remembered,
Oh, hey, how are you doing?
but, yeah, I don't know why it would have gone to
Come in and have a seat.
change the condition.
You're not allowed. You can go back to work. I like your top. It's pretty. I like the colors.
Did your doggy have his legs crossed?
No, but he went right outside. He wouldn't eat the pizza after I scraped it off. He didn't eat it. So I hung my clothes on the line of the washing machine.
I had mine hanging out yesterday.
Yeah, I had some of the white ones hanging out yesterday. So I put the sheets out. I took them off the bed because it's supposed to rain.
When? Is it?
My goodness, don't say that.
I heard it's supposed to rain.
I know.
Maybe it's. I don't know.
I did
Did
see
you hear when it
something.
was gonna rain?
I saw something about maybe tomorrow evening.
I thought
There's a
so, yeah.
chance, I think.
No, that's all right, I'll let it do it then. Wow.
So that's why I hung my clothes up, my sheets out. I took them off the bed and snatched them so they won't be. I don't like clothes to pile up. I got most sheets, but I like to keep them clean.
You never went in this house?
I
The
don't
one on
like do nothing
Flagstaff?
else. I love to wash clothes, the machine wash.
Yeah,
So you go down Maratica Road, and then you take,
All right.
oh
Is it
gosh.
for sale for a while?
Yeah, it was on the market, and but I
Doesn't
know,
change that much. She said with change in condition, it doesn't
You
change
had it,
anything.
and I lost my
class.
page.
for the factor.
She said she can't take that
I
factor
lost my
down
page.
anymore.
Huh?
So,
We did that
I know,
yesterday.
she did.
Oh, maybe
this at
we,
40,
that's a question then.
But she did a C minus 14 to get this down to
I lost
96.
my page.
Okay.
Looking at this
So,
one
it
year.
Came out to 211 on improvements
Man, you can do it fast.
versus
You got it.
272, so
Oh.
overall value improvement.
Okay. Choice in my head. Okay, let's see what we got here.
Oh, that seems good.
Right.
I don't know
I mean,
if we want to take this up anymore.
No.
I mean, that ends up being lower than his
It
original
doesn't give it.
assessment that he went in to argue, right? He went in initially to argue for a 293.1, and then for some reason it went up to a 326.2. So at least we've got them,
$100,000 more than last time.
what do you think about market value on that one? What did he pay for it? He paid 230 for it, right?
35.
So we paid 235 for it in 2021. I don't think we need to go much lower than that.
Yeah, I
And
mean,
then those numbers, we got some
You'll leave it at that?
leg to stand on because we're just kind of reverting back. So I think that's good.
Yeah, because the inside wasn't awful, it's just the outside, you had a lot of deferred maintenance.
Okay, let's see.
So the condition doesn't really matter. It's the class that changes it.
Yeah,
That's what she said.
what she said.
It might be a question for Beth then, if she was not able to get that. 'Cause I don't think we had her run anything
That's what I just met with.
I don't think we had her run anything on Tuesday with the lower factor, but we had some, like changes where we lowered the factor. So if there's some minimum factor level that we can't
Yeah.
go below.
Remember, before they said we could change the factor level with this. Let's keep on going with this, and then if she thinks that we need to do something different, she can tell us.
For it, right?
35.
So we paid 235 for it in 2021. I don't think we.
Look at that.
Are we having an instant replay? We don't need any instant replays if I'm the one talking,
On
especially.
St. Hours, the first one, the tax map 537C. What we're proposing is to take the condition back from an A to an F where it was before. Doesn't change the number, but then the fact that we were taking from 96 to 90 and the physical depreciation upping it from 26 to 40. Because he hadn't done anything to it since last
So
assessment.
you just went back to the old card, basically?
Well, it actually increased the value. Total value, it increased from his last assessment, and it decreased from this current assessment because he didn't do any major improvements. So it's still a little bit higher than what he paid for it, but it's not as high as what it seems to be crazy on this end.
That sounds fair.
Good, Ms. Davis?
Good.
Yep.
Good,
Yep.
okay.
In favor.
That one passes. I'm waiting for Chris to get back to let her know about that one.
Yes, ma'am, you're fine.
Are you looking for Board of Equalization? Yeah. If you go around this way, there's a door right here.
I want to look at that picture on the last one we did for Ann Carter, because I was literally in that neighborhood yesterday, and I remember glancing at the houses, but not, I didn't. I'm
You
not-
missed that.
I think I could remember which one it was. There were some kind of rough-looking houses in that area. So.
Right.
Yeah,
Oh, that's the one that was in Mary Point.
yeah,
Yeah, Mary
okay.
Point, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay, that's how you said it, okay. Hey, Diane. How are you? Good.
I'm so glad it's warm and sunny.
I know.
Miss Davis is not gonna last.
All right, everybody ready? Miss Diane?
Yep.
Okay. 6 minutes before schedule, is that okay for you? Come on up, Diane.
I'm just one of those people who's always early. If I'm
That's
early,
perfect. We'll take any extra time, because we're gonna need at the end of the day to deliberate on these things, so.
Oh, well, that's usually true too. And I'm not gonna take a lot of your time. I'm just a little upset that my house went up 107%, and I don't understand why, because I haven't done a darn thing to it since we bought it in 2018. And I feel it's unfair.
Let's see,
No one else in the
Diane.
area has gone up that much, and I'm hoping
Yeah.
it's an error.
Land stayed the same. Improvements, 89% jump. And y'all have done nothing since the last assessment.
I've done a little painting. That's about it. Haven't added anything.
$300,000 worth of painting,
No,
painted in gold leaf.
no. And my dogs are digging up the yard if that,
So 2007 home built, square footage, 4131.
it's a big house.
Yeah, and then the basement's
One-
unfinished, right?
The basement's unfinished,
Totally
but
unfinished.
that includes the 41% or 41.
That's actually separate.
Oh, it is? Okay, well, but it is unfinished, yes,
3 bedrooms, 2.5 baths.
yes,
Okay. Wood, carpet, vinyl flooring,
yes,
heat pump,
yes.
well, septic, deck off the back.
It's rickety, but it's there.
Okay.
The wood bees love it.
Yep.
The economic depreciation here, 10%, you see that?
Yeah, that came over from the old tax card.
Yeah.
I think different assessors must not define that quite the same.
This one has a change in the plumbing value as well.
The what now, RJ?
The plumbing value is different. It's minimal. It's only a $3,000 difference, but I'm not sure why that would change.
Ah,
I mean, it's, again,
yeah.
Gosh, I never.
it's not huge, but why the inconsistency?
It's finished basement.
It's one of the bigger increases in price per square foot.
Yeah.
The old one being at 78 and then all the way up to 171. So it's more than, some of them are less than double. Significantly.
Yep.
Another one of those where just being such a big house makes those numbers compound. Have you seen any other homes sell that seem similar to yours? Or do you know if any of your neighbors' properties are assessed differently? Those are kind of the.
I don't really go by square foot. I know that the house closer up on Taylor's Creek Road, that's now owned by Gilson, it sold recently, the last 2-3 years. I mean, it's a much nicer house, and its assessment is less than ours is, but I don't know the square footage and all of that. There's a house further up the road. I don't know that it actually sold. I think Miss Joe Crichton passed away, and I think it probably passed through trust to her descendants. And it's a nice house. It's probably smaller than mine, because I think it probably only has 2 bedrooms, maybe 3. And it's not assessed as much as mine, but it's a much nicer looking house than mine. The Littles who live next door, their house is much nicer looking than mine, and they've added a new outbuilding, garage, and theirs is assessed less than ours. So it just seems a little out of whack to me.
And, probably another thing that we can take a look at, right? You got no pier, correct?
I do not have a pier now.
Right, you're right next door to AJ and Karen.
Yes.
They've got a little pier, but I know
They
that
do.
there's not much water there
Not, well, there's no water at low tide.
quite
but,
frequently, yeah.
We can only go out at high tide.
Yeah.
So I guess it's just kind of just taking a look at a couple of the neighboring properties, but then trying to factor in, you know, by the time you're a couple of doors down, then you can really have a dock, and have a couple of feet of water, whereas by the time you're back into there, it's hard to,
Yeah, I don't, nobody's arguing the land hadn't changed,
No.
but the
Yeah,
improvements
that's
is
true.
where you really,
yeah.
significant jump in. You can see it if you changed out all your fixtures inside, changed all this and that, but you haven't done anything to it, so,
Really haven't. no.
Yep.
I mean, it's a big house, and it's a nice house, but it's nothing special. It's just big. Believe me, it's big. I clean it.
do y'all have any questions for Diane? RJ, Davis?
I'm good.
Well, thank you, Diane. What we're gonna do is, again, after we're done today, go back case by case and look at all these things. RJ made a good point. Your last text card, they gave a plumbing value of $37.50, just for the plumbing. This time, the plumbing value is $67.50. But your plumbing hasn't changed in your house.
Not in it.
What was there was there. So
Yeah.
that's something that we need to go back to and ask Beth,
Yeah.
why doubling on that one line item when there's been
Yeah.
nothing done to it, so.
Well, I
We're gonna
appreciate-
dig into it and see what things we can find out for you. and-
Okay, I appreciate it. I couldn't make it to the hearings in December. I was out of town, so I appreciate you taking the time to listen to me.
Absolutely.
Y'all have
Thank
a good
you.
day.
Thank
We'll let you know by mail in 2 weeks, 3 weeks' time.
All right,
You will hear from us.
okay.
Some people say they haven't heard from the previous assessor, but you will definitely get a letter from us.
All right, thank you. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Diane. Mr. Manco? How are you doing?
I'm fine, thanks.
You don't mind going earlier, do you?
No, not at all.
All right.
To do at home.
Well, that's fine. Let me, let us pull up your file here. You can come up to the podium,
Okay,
and I'm going to get your property pulled up on the screen here.
okay.
Let's see. 21, 35, 80. Everybody ready?
Yes, sir.
All right, well, I'm going to turn it over to you, let you give your presentation and tell us what you
Okay.
want us to hear, and then we can ask some questions and,
Okay, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
When I got the assessment, I have no problem with the land value because there have been a few sales in my area, so I know that. But I am having a problem with the improvements. They have increased by over $200,000, and I have not done any improvements, and neither did my husband before he passed away. So that is my question, how they came up with that amount.
all right, let's look at some of the facts of your house.
Okay,
Square footage, 3975, does that sound about right?
that sounds about right.
And then you've got a basement, which is unfinished,
Correct.
roughly 2,700,
Probably a little less than that, but
okay.
yeah,
Excuse me. House was built in 1997,
correct,
2 bedrooms, 2 full baths,
correct.
2 half baths,
And 2 half baths, yes.
okay.
Correct,
Heat pump for heating and cooling,
correct,
Okay. Wood floors,
I'm sorry?
your flooring, wood floors,
Hardwood downstairs, carpets upstairs.
okay?
I should say part of the downstairs, on the ground floor, the bedroom, on the ground floor in the spare room, or sort of a miscellaneous room, is carpet, but all the rest
Okay.
is hardwood.
One fireplace,
Correct.
let's see. Brick
Exterior.
exterior. Yep, there you are. Let's see. And you've got a pier.
That is in very, very poor condition, correct?
Is it? Okay. Bulkhead,
Yes.
and then riprap as well? A little bit of riprap?
He did mostly riprap. We finished the front with riprap, not bulk, I don't know the difference between bulkhead and
So
riprap, I'm
it says
sorry.
you've got 220 feet of bulkhead.
Okay, yes,
And then it also says you've got 22 feet of riprap, which is the rock.
oh, right, yes,
Got a look, okay.
okay. He did that quite a few years ago,
Generator,
yes,
and then a frame shed,
correct.
12 by 20, okay. All right, let's see what else we got on here. No field notes. One 20 and 15, that's all stay the same.
Pretty much everything just stayed the same, right? It's just that, you know, the main reason that the improvement values went up is that sales have gone up. So he's not saying that, you know, the sales affects both the land and how they value the improvements.
But if I didn't do any improvements, you mean if I do some improvements, or did I do some improvements?
No, I think we really, you know, what the data that they're using that's making people's improvements go up, and that's where most people are seeing the rise in their assessments, is that if in your neighborhood, you know, a house that sold for $500,000 5 years ago is selling for $650,000 now, even if they didn't do anything, just because our market has gone kind of, you know, it's gone up a lot. So that's where the increase is just because of recent sales.
Even though I didn't do any improvements, or don't plan on doing any?
Yeah, I think it's just saying, you know, if you were to sell that house today, it would be more valuable than if you were selling it 5 years ago when the last assessments were done. And that's why everybody's assessments have gone up, just because sales around have gone up.
See, and then, this is the new one too, isn't
Yeah.
It
That
is
is the,
new?
I know,
it?
that's what I was
That's
just,
why, and everything's comparing, it's, I mean,
We don't have
everything's the
anything to
same, 'cause
compare.
it's not, we don't have the old card.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That happened yesterday too, right? On this one,
Crystal?
Crystal?
Can we
this
get
is-
the old tax card? Field sheet.
Well, I guess we had this happen yesterday, right, where the field
I
sheet
have one
seems
here.
like it's
No,
got all
we-
the new
We've got
information
a
on
sheet
it.
that the
So I think
assessor
what you had to
actually
do
takes to your
yesterday was pull
property
the old
and
tax
makes notes
card.
on it.
I
That's-
haven't seen an assessor in a long time, probably in
Right,
about
this-
3 years.
This happened, the other day, so
Really?
that's supposed to be the field sheet, it's usually the old tax card
He
with his
he
notes on
came
it.
before my husband
This
passed away,
is-
and my husband's
it
been
just has all the
gone
new values
over
on it,
2 years
so-
now. And I haven't seen anyone since then.
But-
They don't have that for 2019. I can get you the tax card for 2019, because that's generated by.
Well, would,
If you had if there's a different field sheet, but if there's not a different
well,
field
would it be
sheet, then I
from
guess
just
getting the
2023?
tax card from
Just the old
2019.
card?
Or 2019.
right.
Okay.
Right, I think that we had one of these yesterday where the field sheet just had all the new values in it.
Yeah,
And
we
what you
need,
did-
we need this with the old data.
And what you did is just got us the tax
If
card
you-
from
if you go back
2019, obviously something,
Like Thurman, the old card we
Yeah.
had is from 5/2 of 18. is when the inspection was done. So that's on the 19 assessment?
Right,
All right.
yep.
We're just trying to figure out what the assessor may or may not have done.
Right, well, I would be interested in knowing, like I say,
Yeah.
my husband was one that the house, as far as he was concerned, it could fall apart. He wasn't worried about it. And we haven't done anything, I've been here 10 years and we haven't done anything in all the 10 years I've been here. Not even fixed the dock, and the dock everything needs to be repaired, but
Okay.
it's falling apart,
Right.
and this is why I'm really quite curious to know what he came up with, or how he came up with this amount.
Right. We are too.
You know, just this is an observation, I've noticed this when I've been talking to folks, who want to see all the word improvements.
It throws everybody.
RJ and I talked about this.
Yeah.
It throws everybody off because we know, I guess, in the business that improvements are anything that you put on that parcel, all improvements. But to laymen, they're saying, I haven't made any,
Well,
instead of saying structures, you know what I'm saying? Or
Right, right.
They're taking it very literally, like.
Right.
Yeah, they're taking
No,
that literally. I've done no improvement.
Yes.
Why is this going up?
Yes.
Instead of, it's the house, it's the shed, it's the dock. It's,
Right, right,
you know,
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, that verbiage is kind of,
Yes,
It's visible.
if you're not,
yes,
Yeah,
sure.
yep. Okay,
Glenn's called me about this.
okay. Interesting. Just can't believe.
You're not the only person who's come before this board who's asked the exact same question.
Is that right? Mm.
Well, the
Well,
land
it's-
hadn't changed much, but the improvement section has, and why.
Right. I can see it if I did some improvements, because if I look at it now, if I want to start doing the improvements, I'm probably looking at a lot of money. But it hasn't been done.
Right.
So, that, I would be just curious why, once it's been done, I can see adding 200,000. But if nothing's been done, then like I say, the dock is a shambles.
Right.
It's a hazard. I don't have anybody go on it because it is a safety feature.
Well, hopefully this previous tax card will give us some more information.
Okay,
We can use. He'll be right back.
okay. I think the last time he did it, there was a sailboat there, so my husband was using the dock a lot.
So last one was
Big bucket.
2019, so it would have been 2018.
I think he sold the boat either 28, no, I think he sold it in 18.
Okay, because that's when the last
18 or,
assessor
yeah.
probably would have come around, would have been
Yeah,
2018
that-
sometime.
That
in
sounds
there.
about right.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you. Okay. So AB 120, physical depreciation 13.
13 was depreciation?
Yeah, he put an economic depreciation on this one that wasn't on the old one.
Okay,
How much?
It's on, right, it's on here for 5%.
So the
right?
Yeah.
new one at 5%.
yeah,
But it was not on the old one.
okay.
I don't see where much has
How much the physical depreciation was on the old one?
13, it's gone to 15.
So the factor was the same, and what do you get per square foot there?
$39.75, same thing.
I mean, the rate,
81.30. put same class, same condition.
They can massage those numbers. There's no way.
You talking about the, square footage now?
Yeah. This is the old tax card.
Oh, it's even beyond. They can throw in
See the
whatever
old
they
one,
want
the
to
price
in
per
there.
square foot was 81.30, and this new one,
No, right,
175.
Because this is
Yeah.
an
It's quite a bump.
Yeah.
and a B, and yet was the very first one we had yesterday was C with almost the exact same dollar per square foot.
Everything does vary, so this is a
It's the same class
You
condition.
got another,
bigger,
Nothing's changed on that.
Nope.
it's another, $5,000 increase in the plumbing.
5,000, okay.
so that would be a question for Jason. I mean, I would just think they're trying to capture,
Like,
plumbing's more expensive. I guess it's not really supposed to be replacement value. That'd be a question for Jason.
I mean, when you're selling a property, it's, if it was copper and PVC 20 years ago, it's copper PVC now, it shouldn't change the value of
It's your
well,
double
and,
dipping,
and
Right.
you know?
to be
Yeah.
equitable, each one would change, right? This
Oh, yeah.
is arbitrary,
Yeah.
so.
I mean, if you're gonna increase the price per square foot,
Then you shouldn't be doing
Yeah.
plumbing and electrical all the time,
Right.
too.
All right, I'm sorry, here you go.
Do we have any more questions? Ms. Ermenko?
No, I do not have any.
I don't think we had any more questions either. I think now we've got to go back in and really dive into this thing and figure out
Okay,
what's going on.
Thank you very much.
But we will let you know by mail. Let me make sure we've got your address.
okay.
P.O. Box 30, no?
No, I
That
have
was the
most,
previous one. 257 Spring Hill Road?
correct.
Okay. So we'll let you know with a letter from the county.
Okay.
Within 2 to 3 weeks' time of this board's decision. So,
Okay, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you. Yes, ma'am. Brother Brian, what's up? How you doing? Another day in paradise?
Yeah,
Much rather be outside on a boat than inside?
yeah. Working too much and not playing enough. 2 years of the boat not even being in the water.
Oh, my Lord. But working with everybody else's.
Yeah, yeah, pretty much.
Let me pull up your stuff, Brant, real quick. I'm gonna get up here on the screen. Let's see. 34-50. Here we are. And 34-50. All right, everybody ready for Brant Udy? Mm-hmm. All right, Brant, I'm gonna turn it over to you, bud. Let you give your presentation, and then we'll ask questions and make sure we got all our facts and data correct.
Okay.
And then at the end of the day, we go through each case by case, one by one, and look and make sure there's no disparities, and, you know, if there's things need to be changed, we do that, and then send you a letter in 2 or 3 weeks about the decision, so.
Sounds good.
All right, buddy, all yours, Brant.
All right, I understand that the assessments have to go up, but initially, our assessment went up 163%, and we had no capital improvements. I talked to him, and he lowered it to 138%, which, like I said, I understand they got to go up, but I find that to be a little unreasonable, because like I said, we've had absolutely no capital improvements. Our next-door neighbor, granted, it's not zone commercial, mine is, he operates it as a commercial business, he's operating a salvage yard out of it. His is 5 acres, mine is 7 acres. His is assessed at $38,000.
Grimes?
Yes,
Yep,
okay,
which is right here.
okay.
yep. And like I said,
This is on
I'm
Route-
bigger, I'm on the corner, I'm zone
You all know
commercial.
this property, right? Route 3, Kilmarnock Auto Clinic?
Yep.
RJ?
Yes,
sir.
Okay, yep.
And, again, like I said, I've had absolutely no capital improvements in this timeframe. As a matter of fact, some things need some capital improvements, and I've got to get to the point where I can afford to do them. So, like, new parking lots cost a lot of money.
Yeah.
But basically, that's pretty much to the point, that I understand it should go up, but I find this kind of raise to be a bit unreasonable.
What's interesting,
Square footage.
the land went up on this one, almost double. Where did it go double?
Yeah, the land increased by 172.5. And the improvements increased 205,900, and I haven't done anything to it. And plus, it's a steel structure, it's not, they aren't 100% permanent.
Right.
Well, it's really unusual.
Why?
I mean, obviously, this is you're the first commercial person we've had come in. When the assessor met with us, he did mention that commercial properties he saw changes in.
Right.
Because there have been a lot more commercial properties selling. But I don't know why you would do commercial as a per acre,
I know.
with every acre being valued the same. Typically, you've got
The front foot.
some sort of value for the ability to put a business or a home there, and then the
Well, it's
rest of
probably
the
more
acreage is
appropriate.
valued.
The old card's got, it's distinguished,
Yeah.
kind of like you would do a home site and then
Yeah,
residual.
Brad, so on your tax card, they've got 2-acre commercial at $40,000 per acre. That's one piece. But then your extra 5.064 acres, they're also taxing that at $40,000 an acre.
And I
So that's
addressed that because.
That's
when-
20560.
And there's some disparity here, because when we had this rezoned, when we first bought the place, and bought the property as one piece, and it was a boat repair shop. Well, honestly, I mean, I realize that there's a zoning difference between the boat repair and auto repair, but in reality, there's no difference. Because boat trailers have brakes and tires, and that's the only thing boats don't have that cars have.
Right.
It's really nuts and bolts, it's the same thing.
Right.
But that's fine and good. But they said, we're only going to rezone your front 2 acres commercial and back 5 will be agricultural. And by the way, I still have to suffer the setback, so I don't really have 2 commercial acres because I can't do anything with the first 75 or 100 feet of my property. I can't do anything with it for the road setback.
So the old,
And
the
now-
old one, Brant, had acre and a half being like, I guess, your main part you use. Would you say that's probably closer to an acre and a half or 2 acres?
It's closer to an acre and a half.
And then the rest of it, the rest 5.5 is
Yeah. Now, there's-
behind the building and,
Yeah, I want to point out some disparity here, because the current map zones all 7 acres as being commercial, which I approached the zoning office about this.
okay,
And they got back to me and said, well, we've decided now all 7 acres are commercial. Well, that's news to me. I kind of like to get some clarification there as to what I really own. Because one map says one thing, the old map says another thing, and I'm kind of going, what?
so before your 1.5 acres was commercial and the rest was zoned agricultural? Then all of a sudden you were told that now all 7 are commercial?
Yep. Yeah, because when the reassessment came out, of course, this is a long time ago, but I remember it quite clearly because I thought it was a bit unreasonable, but it was how I had to do it to get it past the board.
Right,
So I said, okay, fine, if that's what I got to do. And now I understand, well, now it's magically all commercial. Well, if that's the case, I'd like some true clarification on that.
sure.
Yeah, we can help that. Yeah, I was I mean, this is just from what I do in Kilmarnock, but I was kind of under the impression that the locality can't rezone somebody's property without a process, for sure, but I don't think we're able to,
Arbitrarily change
we
it.
just can't go in and, we can, as a town, kind of want properties to rezone and be kind of supportive when somebody wants to rezone to commercial. That's kind of what we're doing along Main Street, but we can't just switch somebody from C1
Right.
to C2 because we think that's how it
Yeah,
should be.
and
But it,
When this all came up, and I came up for the meeting with the appraisal guy, I went to the office, and there was quite a bit of confusion, because, you're zoned all commercial. I said, "What?" And she pulled out all the filings from when the court procedures went by, and she said, I guess you're just commercial now. Okay.
Brent, your square footage on the building
It's about 10,000 square feet total.
Well, it went from 8,500 on the last tax card to 9,200 on this current one.
Yeah, I have no idea. There's
No
been
expansion or
no
anything?
change.
Okay.
The primary, the main shop is 80 by 80, and the old building that was there when I bought the property was 70 by 40.
That's, yeah, and that's
So,
what
and that's the same way it's
the
been.
map shows. All right,
80 by 80, 70 by 30, right there.
yeah.
Yeah.
So why'd we go to,
I was wondering,
So really, the 8,600 number's probably more correct than the new 9,200?
I haven't actually sat down and added up, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I mean, that's just looking at what the
Yeah.
county's got on here.
Yeah. Yeah, but what you got there is the
So
physical
it's
size of the
9,200.
building.
Yep.
Okay.
so that, yeah, so it was wrong before?
It looks like it was wrong before, but, you know, going back to the acres, the land part,
That's baffling.
that's extremely baffling. That's almost like Mr. Reynolds'
Yeah.
1 acre home site and 3 acres
Yeah, that's,
waterfront all being the same. It shouldn't be, so.
so what is Connemara, what do they pay?
We'll have to look at that, because
Okay.
they're right across the street here.
Right. And then since it's
Yeah, their piece of land is quite a bit smaller than mine is too. so.
Yeah.
in the secondary road,
Right, it's kind of listed differently. The biggest thing on so the land, it seems like there's something straightforward that needs to be addressed, but on the improvements, the big thing is it's gone from $20 a square foot forward to $56 a square foot, and that's down below under structural elements.
Right.
It just seems, this being the first commercial property that we're looking at, they just kind of have it
maybe because the entrance on the other road.
done differently, but they did it the same on the old tax card.
2020, and that's, it's more than double.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he had said that the commercial, so we may just need to look into some other commercial properties and start to get an idea. Is everything done at $56 a square foot for commercial property, or is there some variability there? Doesn't matter what kind of building it is. Connemara would obviously be a good one to look at. That's a big
It's a similar structure.
metal
It's a
building.
metal building as well.
But the land definitely jumps out as being done very, very differently than it was done last time.
Yeah, I think we're gonna have to dive into both the land and the improvement part and see.
And then it was the same thing on the old tax card, but the way that they did the depreciation just looks weird.
Yeah, it's like,
It doesn't have a percentage, it just has the number that they're,
well, it looks like they depreciated half the building and not the other half. See where I'm looking at, the field sheet? They put a depreciation in for the,
6720?
yeah,
Yep, with nothing for the other one, the bigger building. Yeah.
well, this will be another fun one that'll
ooh,
take more than a minute or two.
My reaction, exactly.
yeah.
So your reaction turns into our reality now that we have to go through and go, let's try to make means out of this thing. I don't know if there's any more questions.
Well, if it's the only, kind of the two things we're tasked to look at when we're changing things are equalization and equity. Is your property kind of
Right,
done
I
the same way as other ones? And then the other one we're allowed to look at is fair market value. So, which is hard with commercial property, you know, what would, have there been any, didn't old auto repair shop sell recently in Lancaster?
Brad Smith?
Is that, yeah, I don't know if there's any kind of fair market value way to look at it either, but certainly, I don't think that it would probably sell for where it's currently assessed. I don't think much. I guess Brad Smith's, that was an old auto dealership, which is
Yeah.
a little different. So, there's a lot to look at there.
Okay.
So much for the cut and dry, easy deals for us. Every one of
Sorry.
us. But no, but that's why we're here, you know, that's what we're tasked to do, and, this is the first commercial deal we've had.
Yeah.
But commercial entities are different, and, you know,
And, you know,
especially with this,
like
with the
some-
land
like-
part.
Yeah, like some true clarification. Is
Yeah.
it like I thought it was, or is it like I'm being taxed for?
Right.
Right.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah. And if it's all commercial the way it is, there shouldn't be disparities in the
Acreage.
acreage, front portion, back portion.
Yeah.
You know, I can see a certain value for the front portion, 'cause that's where
Your road frontage.
customers park, your clients
Yeah.
park, where the storefront is.
Yeah.
Back part, different. So. Y'all have any more questions for Mr. Udy? All good?
All right.
Brant, thank you so much,
folks.
buddy.
Appreciate your
Tell
consideration.
Joanne hello, and we'll have a letter to you and then mail it in the next 2 to 3 weeks with the board's decision. That'd be nice, buddy. Thanks, Brian.
Thank you.
See you, bud. All right. Yep, this year's go-around's a little bit different than last time. It's not gonna be as easy as looking at a couple of neighbors and,
I was thinking, you know, I mentioned to y'all about, we're gonna have to, I mean, every time I go into an office, someone else says, "Look, we're gonna have to make some more dates for April," but just to take some of the pressure off, I was thinking maybe just set aside one day wherever, whatever y'all didn't get to, just not see anybody that day.
Right.
Just nothing, but just
that'd be good.
It's starting to stack up. It's gonna, today having to get out of here,
it's not gonna get any better.
yeah,
Oh, no.
these are,
Do we don't have any dates for April yet, right?
Well,
The 10th.
technically said the 10th, but I can't do that. I was talking to David about it. I'm just getting back from a trip on the 9th, and it's always changing. And so I can't come back and then have a meeting that
Okay.
person.
Okay.
Before we leave today, we'll go ahead and set a couple more dates.
Okay.
How you doing?
I was asking around where the Board of Equalization meeting's going about tax bills.
Yes, sir, that's us.
Oh, okay.
Do you have an appointment? Okay.
I wandered in to see how things were going and who to talk to.
I can take care of it.
Sure. Crystal can set up the appointments.
Do you want to do the write-in ones? Glenn's and
was that our, we have one more?
Two.
more?
McWhort?
Oh, was that our last appointment?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, so now everything else is
Yeah, we're done
just-
appointments now until 4:30, so let's go ahead with, Joyce McWhort. All right, what do we got, Ms. McWhort? Drastic increase. Garage doors have changed.
This old one had a factor of 70 and a physical depreciation of 75%.
Look at the improvements, $80,000 is going up. Almost.
It's just, I mean, from the pictures, that doesn't look,
Uh-uh.
This was 2011 pictures,
Okay. There you go.
and she purchased it as a repo from the bank in
2004. Sorry.
Yeah, paid 30,000 for it. No, 25,000.
I wonder what the difference is.
I mean, just going, what we've done with some other ones, changing the factor and the physical depreciation back to where it was. It also went from a, no, it's FE and FE.
You don't know if Jason's still here, do you?
I thought I saw him leave, but I don't know.
I think he was leaving, but I could be wrong, yeah.
Yeah, I think you did, yeah.
But again, this one, square footage went from 165 to 150. That's just crazy.
I mean, that's kind of what we see when we're doing a appraisal or CMA, right? I mean, stuff used to go for $100 a square foot. Now it's going for $200 a square foot, and stuff that was going for $250 a square foot's going for
Look at that.
Not on a repossessed trailer, though, I don't think.
yeah.
The AC went, no, both of them went up. Plumbing and AC went up.
I'd be interested in the column on that. My guess would be those are just like standard numbers that he pulls from somewhere
Must be.
that are based off of either replacement value or,
But again, you shouldn't be getting taxed double for
Right.
the,
yeah.
Right.
When we do an appraisal or a CMA, you don't go, well, your house is 200 a square foot. Plumbing,
Yeah.
it's kind of understood that there's,
Windows broken out, needs
That's what I
work.
was gonna try to catch and ask him, where he's getting that figure from. Not that it matters.
as long as it's equal,
well, what's not equal here at all is crazy is he went from a factor of 70 up to 88, and then depreciation from 75 down to 50. No,
And the class stayed the same.
yeah.
Condition, I mean, sorry.
So if we take the factor back to 70 and put the physical depreciation back up to
75.
75,
Yes, he's got some sort of map loaded on there where if we wanted to, it may come in handy at some.
I'll take a look at it later on and see
It says that it's got the home site and then kind of has those, like those things that we have to pull the tax card for each property. It had like the home site and then the residual and all the land value kind of written. I'm not sure if it's gonna be really usable, it may be confusing to look at,
Granville.
but it may
Granville
save
Bay
us if we're
Road
looking at it.
It's out my way, I think.
Yeah, it may save us if we're trying to look at a bunch of farmland, we might just be able to look at that
Granville Bay is
and
like,
zoom around instead of having to
Manasky
send
Farm.
people to print out 10 sheets.
yes,
the river frontage on Manasky Farm, is that right?
yeah.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, Granville Bay.
Windows are broken out, needs work.
This bit work,
Yes,
her husband has major medical issues, they're legal in front of first, and she asked that you all take a look at her letter, she can't leave him. Come down.
Okay. What would that look like if we changed it back to the 70 and 75.
Purchase this property 20 years ago.
Well, they don't live here, do they? They live in
They
Fredericksburg.
live in Fredericksburg.
So the house has just been kind of sitting, I guess?
Yeah.
Should we even take the factor down? If it's been,
Yeah, it'd be good just going, I mean, I'm sure it's got some more value than it did
you
before.
think it's increased in value?
I guess, I mean, that's
Greenville
such
Bay?
a, that's just such a hard one to know without going to visit it, right? Like, is it really a tear down?
No, I know, I'm just looking at her letter and looking at the notes.
Yeah.
The front windows are broken out. And like, I don't know if that should be improving the value or getting worse. To me, it's getting worse.
She purchased the property 20 years ago,
For $25,000 in the bank.
had broken windows, no heat. Have they fixed the broken windows or no?
The brand-new tax card says windows broken out,
Oh, gosh, okay.
needs work.
I think the way she talked, they had.
Oh, yeah.
I think they had plans for it years ago, and it got bad.
Yeah, they said they wanted to tear it down.
No heat, no air conditioning, working bathroom, holes in the kitchen floor.
Sounds like a shack.
Well, it's a good opportunity to check with Beth too, David, to make sure that we can take a factor down that low. I don't understand why on that other one.
I think we put the order in and send it over to her.
Okay,
And if she has a problem with it, she'll come back. What do you,
She'll let me know if,
all right.
okay.
So for factor on this one, I think those are the two numbers we can change, the factor and depreciation, so. You don't want to take factor, it was 70 before, it's probably gotten worse, you want to take that down to maybe 60 and then up to physical depreciation to 80 maybe?
Sure.
Yep.
Does that work for you all?
Yes.
Okay. So Crystal, on that one, 19B1, 121A, we can work. We're going to take the factor from 80. Is that what it is, or is it 88?
88.
88 down to 60.
okay.
And the physical depreciation from 50 up to 80%. And that's it on that one. All right, good job, guys. I hope Mr. Rose is easy as that one.
I'm not in the way because I wasn't really sure whether I was gonna be, in the room or work what, I mean, I can speak to it if you want.
Yeah, come on,
Yeah, go ahead.
absolutely, buddy, yeah.
Make sure you speak in the mic, Larry.
If we have problems with audio, we have to call you back over to the station, so.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to not practice what I preach, right? First of all, I'm apologetic of bringing you an appeal with such a small amount of money. But, and I had hoped to get the appraiser to adjust it. But unfortunately, I submitted an appeal to him, and there was no change. What I'm looking at on this one is just the increase in the land value. I don't have any, I don't really have any comment on the value of the improvement. And I'm a little bit confused as to why there was no change in my favor after I made the appeal, because I also own that other lot there, 2986M, and he had done me even more dirty on that one than he did on the home site. I think that one had gone up about double. It had been 16,000 and some, and he had the original assessment had gone up to over 32,000. And I submitted an appeal for that one and provided some examples of some other properties on that road that were the same acreage and basically the same type of land, that they were where the land value had stayed the same between this assessment and the previous assessment, and he did drop that one down. As you can see, it went, that one went down to 17.3.
Yep.
I submitted an appeal for the piece of property where my home is, same rationale. Cited, the same examples of neighboring properties, and that one he left where it was, or where he originally had it. And that's where that's the basis of the appeal. I don't know if it was a oversight on his part, or if he has some reason for leaving it like that. The only thing that I can think of, and this is on the second page of what I submitted to you all, had something to do with the fact that that piece of property that, that my home is on was actually platted at the same time as the Milburn subdivision. But the way the Milburn subdivision declarations or covenants or whatever were written up, they did not specifically include my property, and it was conveyed to me when I bought the property that my lot was not subject to their covenants. Later on, they did some boundary line adjustments for a couple of the other pieces of property that were in the Milburn subdivision, and basically removed them from having road access. And when they did that, they amended the declarations for the subdivision and specifically excluded those two lots and my lot and one other one. I can't remember what that one was now. And basically, they said these lots are not part of the subdivision anymore. So I don't think that my lot should be assessed as if it is. So that's the entirety of my argument.
And Glenn, you didn't have a problem with your improvements?
No, like I said, I'm not going to question that. That looks to be consistent with the increases on other similar properties.
Okay.
I just had a little bit of an issue with that extra land value. Like I said, if you look at other improved 2-acre home sites on that road that are non-waterfront, their land values between this assessment and the last assessment stayed the same.
Mm-hmm.
So why wouldn't mine?
Yep.
Right. Huh.
Good point. Yeah, 17.6. You were at 18 before? Yeah. 17.5?
That's
17.5.
yeah. You're getting into the comp, what I would call the comparables. Those are other similarly sized properties.
Yeah.
That have homes on them.
Right.
So it's really just taking the home site value back to what it was?
Yep.
in the
That's all I'm
previous-
asking for, yeah.
Yeah.
Just, take it back to what it was, to be consistent with the other, with the other similar properties in the neighborhood.
Yeah, I'm good with that. Just take it back,
Yeah.
home site to 16,000. Was the value in the previous one? And according to Jason himself, most of the
Where was it?
home site was 16,000 in the old.
Where are you seeing that?
Oh,
Land use
16 the
value.
old, then,
25 on the new one.
and then
16,000 on the
Oh,
old
yeah.
one.
$2,008.
Oh, okay. So just switch it back to 18 versus
To
27.
18,000 versus the 27.
Yeah.
So that would just be changing the home site to 16, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Everybody good with that?
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Yep.
Okay, Crystal. Mr. Rowe, 29C1-9. The change is the home site. We're taking that from 25,000 to 16,000. Unanimous approval.
Y'all are done with me, right?
Thank you, Mr. Rowe. That was probably one of the easiest ones.
Yeah, where
Wait, what was
the
the
rest
last
of y'all
one?
at?
All right.
Did y'all look at the previous form the other day, or just?
Well, hold on real quick. We got, Mr. St. Hours. We went ahead and decided on him.
Oh, yeah, we just didn't let you know.
There we go. All right, on Mr. St. Hours. We took the condition from A to F. The factor from 96 to 90. And the physical depreciation from 26 to 40. That was tax map 537C.
Physical depreciation of 40%?
Yep.
Factor from 96 to 90 and physical from 26 to 40, yes.
Okay.
Yep. Okay.
The two of them, ones from last time are gonna take quite a while, so. I don't remember what the other ones were though.
Yeah, one was the green.
That's another final fact.
Yeah.
You want to look at calendars real quick to go ahead and make dates for April?
Yeah, our time gets away.
What are you thinking, Crystal?
The middle of the month works better for me, but I don't know, I've got farming to do and all that, but. And I have had one citizen request on Monday. So, that's one person from out of state.
Do they want to call in?
I've offered that, so I told those, that, so everybody work full-time and, don't have to, we have to work around everybody's schedule, so. You do, okay, Glenn has Knoxville on the 15th.
Okay,
I don't get back from Florida until the 9th,
okay.
and like I said, I can't be prepared for a meeting, get prepared the next day. There's another budget meeting of the board on the 11th at 5.
The 12th is a little bit of a hiccup for me. I could change it if I need to, but
And Tuesday, April 16th. We probably need to set a couple of dates, right?
David, you're gone. What did you say, the end of March or 1st of April?
Both.
Okay.
What's the 17th through 19th look like for everybody of April?
I'm good.
RJ?
April the
Yeah,
17th?
it should be fine. I mean,
April 17th through 19th, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, do those dates work? If you want to do one or two?
Maybe I hope, I don't, it's hard to tell what people are gonna do, but
Do you want to just put one in for there now? Or go ahead and put two in?
what I'd like to do, if it's all right with y'all, or suggest anyway, is maybe try to get one filled, and then have a second one if need be, but I really think you all might just need a day to do nothing but deliberate.
Well, do we want to do 2 days in the 3-day period, or do one day that week and one day the next week?
It's easier on me to do it separately, but that's, whatever works best for y'all. I would like for y'all to choose 3 dates, and if we don't need that third one, then I will schedule a day. But I really feel like maybe I deliberate, it just seems like it's taking, you won't get through today's, and so that 4 from Tuesday.
Right.
And then tomorrow, maybe the same, that's way.
Well, the 4th from Tuesday, we got 10, or we got 12, because the green's going to be 12 units. We got to look at all of them. Yeah. What if we looked at the 18th, which is a Thursday, and then the following week, the 23rd and 25th? That's a Tuesday and Thursday. That way we're not back to back to back. Unless anybody has appointments or anything like that.
Fine with
That would
me.
be okay with me, but.
Oh, that's
What do y'all
good.
think?
April the 18th.
18th is a Thursday, and then the following Tuesday is the 23rd, and then the 25th is a Thursday.
Okay, I was just entering in my phone.
Should be fine with
RJ,
me.
does that work for you?
18
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be, like, it's all gonna be kinda inopportune at that point, so I'm just gonna make it, I'm gonna make it work. It is what it is. Yeah, it'll be fine.
Neil, how about you?
So we said 23rd, 24th?
No.
23rd, 25th.
19th, I'm sorry, 18th, 23rd, 25th.
And then if we do that, we'd want to try to just put the meetings into the Thursday, obviously that one, the first one, but then that week with two, try and leave one of those open to be
In a
at the
perfect world,
deliberate.
I would say y'all need a whole day to
Yeah.
not see anybody and just, and anything that's left over from the previous meetings, try to get it ready.
So Thursday, the 18th, and then Tuesday, the 23rd.
Yeah.
Have meetings, and then Thursday, the 25th, keep that open. I think we will definitely have. Try not to schedule any meetings that day, but have that be a day where hopefully we can come in and just finish everything that we've looked at since then. So then hopefully after Thursday, the 25th, we're all caught up.
Yeah.
And I'm sure we will need more meetings after that throughout, at some point, but maybe not, hopefully not. But,
So 18, 23, and 25.
yeah,
Okay. I mean, are you still getting the volume of phone calls and emails?
All the time. I mean, every time I leave here, well, I mean, sometimes I do other stuff, but I'll go in there and check something, someone else's call, someone else's email.
When do we have to have all this done by?
December 31st. I do try to, for folks that, I try to say, if you don't want, if you can't come, send something in to me. And I do have several of those too, email or letters. Some people just don't want to come.
Right.
This whole thing intimidates them. It hasn't really slowed up yet. And then I was talking to the girl who had a Commissioner Revenue, and she goes, well, it's also on the radio. I'm like, it's on the radio too. So,
like they're the ones who put it on the radio, or?
I don't know who put it on, I don't know who puts it on the radio.
Disgruntled citizen.
I know I did.
I think we need to be meaner in here.
Could be.
So what I'm thinking I may advertise is just, because I have to by law, the 18th and the 23rd.
Okay,
And then
just see how,
hopefully 25th can just be the regroup, try to get everything that's, hasn't been taken care of.
Yes, perfect.
Is that what
okay,
y'all think?
yeah, that's great.
All right, so we got till 4:30 to knock out as many as we can get.
Do you want us out of here before then, Crystal, or is 4:30?
No, well, Glenn's got to, because we're going to have another meeting at 5. 4:30.
Okay,
All right,
all right.
let's, you want to just go down the list then? Go to Larkin next,
Okay.
158 Bayberry Point.
Pull these out that we did. Okay,
This is the one where he just purchased the property for $735. The assessor was there a month before,
Yep.
assessed it at $805. He had an appraisal for $735.
Will you bring it up on Bominet so I can
Yep.
see? I'm pretty sure I know this is the house I appraised.
And which, 158 Bayberry. What's his last name?
Larkin, Larkin.
There's a change in the classification. Why was that?
Change the classification?
It went from
Yeah,
a B
B to
to a
C.
C.
Huh.
No picture.
Dang it. Look in MLS. I don't remember who had this one. Who had this?
That should have been a bummer, man.
Ay, ay, ay. I don't remember who had it.
These values.
158 Bayberry.
Yeah. Dang it, who had it?
There it is.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I did that one.
You did it?
Yep,
Burl, right?
yes.
That one sat for a while, too.
No, yeah, Burl, yeah.
I was surprised that that sat as long as it
It just
did.
drops, the land drops off on the back and you gotta go through, to get out to the little pier, you gotta go through a lot of mud and muck.
Okay. Did it have a pier?
It's a terrible
Its own
problem
pier?
to have, man.
There is a
Yeah.
pier.
It's pretty inside.
Terrible
there.
problem to have.
It's a pretty house, but.
Yeah, it looks, I like the decoration, the furniture.
Right, but we're going to land, we got the sale and an appraisal all happening in the year,
Yep.
so.
And don't ask me what I appraised it for, I can't remember.
Is that the one he was there a month
Yeah,
with?
Yeah.
Okay.
so there's the house back there,
Yeah. So you can't really see the
Okay.
water
Oh,
that great.
back, yeah,
right here.
Yeah.
okay.
There's the house back here.
Oh, and there's the muddy
Oh,
stuff to get
okay,
through.
got it.
Yeah, oh yeah, a lot of mud.
All right, so,
Change the factor in the depreciation to get us to
yep,
730-ish.
yep.
Good.
Sorry.
We'll go factor to factor 100,
It'd be 105 or something.
105. Then physical depreciation,
It's in pretty good shape.
I think factor 105, what does that get us to?
It takes about 60, or more than 60 grand off.
Yeah, maybe it's still too high.
Are you staying at 7% on the depreciation?
probably so.
Yeah. Or we could throw in a 5% economic.
Apparently that's just all over the board.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, 103, 104, 105. Seems like a nice enough house that having a factor of 100, it just seems a little low also for the next assessment.
All right. 103?
103, yeah, I think 103 would,
Everybody okay with 103 factor for this one?
Yep.
yep,
Everything else stays the same?
yep.
RJ, good with that?
Yes.
All right. Crystal, from Mr. Larkin, 23E18. We're taking the factor from 116 to 103. Everything else stays the same. All right, Henry Dixon.
Alright, the rip wrap's gotta come off of that one. Cinder block instead of brick. No carpet.
Oh, this is, we need Beth on this one, because this was the acreage
The
issue.
discrepancy in the acres.
Yeah. She's not at lunch, yeah.
Right, not, to me, it seemed pretty, the discrepancy on the acreage, but it seems like the can look at a couple of properties, but if the neighboring property of his is valued at 225, it only went up a little bit. I don't know why the land or the house would have gone up 75,000 between the assessments.
Oh, this one's up.
Right, am I looking at the right, this is where he, the house had been
182.
destroyed?
Yes, yeah. So this is the parcel here where the house is. And he also owns this lot beside him, so this one. What was
That's
this?
a lot of lunch, we're back about 40.
Oh my gosh. She
I'd
can
be
go on
starving if
vacation.
I ate lunch this late.
We're gonna start inviting Beth to lunch with us, so we can
I
just
know.
pepper her with questions the entire time, and we'll be on the same schedule.
That's right.
Maybe I have to eat with her every 2 or 3 hours.
Yeah.
All right, Neil, so there you go. His exact same lot he owns next door,
Yeah.
2 acres, 225. This is where his home is, 300,000, home site, and then 225 residual.
What's the, one up from him?
Right here?
Yeah. Okay, yeah, that's back down, and it's got more acreage.
Yeah.
So I guess he just matching the home sites.
This is D, 235 land.
Yeah.
They crazy.
So do we want to do 225 for land for this one
I guess the difference, right,
to match next door, or to match his adjoining property?
really be, right, changing the home site to 215. What does that do?
The 1 acre home site?
Yeah.
Versus 300.
And then there's another big potential. On the other property, the home site's 215, and the residual is 10,000. Here, the home site is 300,000, and the residual is 22,500. So if we equalized his 2 lots, we go to 225 and 10,000.
So your proposal is do the home site on both lots, 225?
215,000.
Oh, 215, so there's no change on the second lot.
Right.
The
Yeah, I
first
think
lot
the-
comes down to
Matches.
215, and then the residual,
Switches to 10,000.
10,000.
10,000.
Gotcha. So there's no change on that lot B.
Yeah, lot B seems
Seems reasonable, but we're
in
we're
line with the
taking-
other ones.
Okay. I like that. You okay with that? On,
215 and then change the per acre for the residual to 10.
yeah, from 22.5 to 10, which matches his lot next
Right, no,
door.
I agree, yeah.
Ms. Davis, you okay with
Okay,
that?
yeah, just right.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Neil?
And then we'll
Yes.
just,
All
we'll
right.
remember to ask Beth about the acreage.
So on tax map 3574, Crystal, we're taking the home site, the 1 acre home site from 30,000, I'm sorry, it's from 300,000 to 215,000?
215?
Uh-huh. And the residual, 2.13 acres, instead of 22,500, it's gonna be 10,000 an acre.
And
Riprap needs to be taken off.
Yeah, riprap needs to be removed.
how about the acreage?
Thanks for David's second thing. Residual, the 2.13 acres. that's
Yeah.
10,000.
Yep, 10,000, yep.
Okay.
And then
No
no riprap.
riprap, no carpet, no fireplace.
Yeah, he said cinder block, not.
Foundation, yeah.
Right.
What did you say about the acreage?
We got to talk to Beth. And
Oh,
we're trying
okay.
to figure out what happened.
So then which one of the question is which acreage is correct. Doesn't make a big difference in the assessment, but
So you gotta wait.
Then they'll pick it up on the next assessment wrong,
Just
you
trying
know?
to get it right. All right.
And then on 3574B, no change. And on 3575,
That was a tiny sliver,
that's
You only have
sliver,
1,000 on that, right? Yeah,
yeah.
they've got $1,000, so.
yeah, so no change.
No change on that, okay. No change on that one. All right, we've gotten through Mr. Reynolds. So Mr. Thurman. Okay, let's see, Mr. Thurman.
He was one where he wasn't really arguing either equalization or fair market value necessarily. He was more just upset about
Increase.
the increase.
Yes, according to the state and the national averages.
Yep.
Yep. Where this is one where his land value went down, his house value went up,
Yeah.
so.
I think 2,700 square foot fair market value, and the only thing I could see, you know, off the top of my head is the factor went up and his physical depreciation went down between the assessments, and that's a change that we've
2064.
made, and according to him, he didn't change anything on his house.
See if I can get a picture of it. Nope, no picture.
I've been in this house, but it's been years. I think it was a pretty decent house, but I don't really remember, it was a long time ago.
What the sketch, is the one that had that like sunroom on the corner?
Yeah, so when you're going into Laurel Point and you just go straight, it's gonna be on your left-hand side. There's only like
Okay.
2 or 3 houses along there on your left as you first going in, not first going in, but,
Right here?
yeah. So I
Okay.
think like that, it was either 67 or 68B sold a couple years ago, and this was further down from that.
Well, this is one where, again, square footage went up. The the factor went up from 1 to 106, depreciation from 11 to 13.
Two 2010 house.
$520 seems a little steep in Laurel Point inland. but-
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think, I'm trying to think of like what off-water sale you would, and there's been some stuff that's getting close to 5, but 5 just kind of seems like a difficult number to go much above
Yeah.
in both off-water right now, unless it's in Irvington or super duper nice or sitting on 10 or 20 acres or something.
Right.
So I think because of that, fair market value wise, just going a factor of 100 and physical depreciation of 13 from the old tax card, it's not gonna,
All right, so proposal is factored down to 100, the physical up to 13.
yep.
Wonder why it came down on physical,
I don't
the
know.
old one.
I don't know.
Well, if we bump it to 15,
Yeah, you know.
Yeah, that's fine.
it's 4 years older than the oldest one.
Yep.
You okay with that? All right, Crystal, for Mr. Thurman, 22A-1-63. We're going to take the factor from 106 to 100, and physical depreciation from 11% to 15%. All right, Mr. Hall.
Yeah, I remember when my mother sold this one. There was definitely, stuff from Radico has definitely gone up in value, but it was definitely an old house, and I think what he's saying about the swamp marsh situation, pretty accurate. It's probably on the MLS. I think it was 2019.
6478.
Oh, yeah, this is the one, I guess we need to ask, I guess Beth is the best one, or Marlon, about the total improvement's just a number, and nothing's broken out on the
Right,
card.
we've seen that a couple of
There's
times.
Mr. Hall's house.
Is Marlon here?
Right, and there's where the dock goes way out over that.
His house is back over here, and that's his dock.
Yeah,
Jeez Louise.
so yeah.
It's all swampland right here, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yep.
How you get over there? Fly?
That little
Very-
walkway.
Very careful.
Don't fall off.
Pack a lunch and keep on trucking,
10,000 an acre seems a little,
and pray you don't
I
see
would
any
say,
snakes.
yeah.
Because if it'd been me, I would have been up in
Perhaps
the
that
air.
should at least go back to the, well,
Where you wanna take it?
What are y'all
man?
looking at?
500's a little,
What do you think?
500's a little low, right? You think?
For what, RJ?
What?
Well, it went from 500 per acre for swamp and marsh
swamp.
to 10,000 per acre.
Ay, ay, ay.
So we gotta, I mean, what's reasonable?
Yeah, that was the one
Well,
where he was saying it was more 3 acres marsh, but, I mean,
Yeah, it's-
2.65 versus 3, you know.
It's 3.5.
I'll be one, if you probably need to look at some neighboring properties
To see what the,
and see what they've, because there's definitely a bunch right there that are done the same, if he's bumped all of those up to 10,000.
Yeah.
All right, let's see.
Then the other big change is in the home site, so also looking at some properties around there to see if all the home sites are the same. I mean, the home site went from 75 to 250,000.
Nope.
This is Hall, so we'll look at this lot. 160 for land.
Is there a house on that?
There's something on it.
57.4 improvement.
I mean, so I'm looking at that aerial picture, it almost makes me wonder if that's not somehow just a bunch of marsh with a dock on it, and the house that's associated with it is that Google Earth. Let's see if we can see that neighbor.
She says on improvements, if it's a lump sum, it's usually because there's another page and it's broken down. It's like
Oh, okay.
so many improvements that they have to go to another page.
Gotcha. Okey dokey.
But I didn't know if y'all also would ask for that acreage question.
Oh, yeah, so on this one, let's see. So we're showing 3.13, but on the old one it was 2.73. And he owns a lot of adjacent parcels, but even if we, okay, so,
A plat was recorded in 22, so it could be that the acreage changed because of a new plat.
Got it.
That's the plat reference. If you see a plus P,
Yep.
That means a new plat was recorded.
That's probably what-
Recorded in 22.
That's probably what happened.
Okay,
Yeah.
bingo.
All right.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
That answers that.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Right, so it just says total.
Okay.
That's up to 49,300.
Okay.
Still seems like. Why is there rip wrap twice, but it's not a whole lot? Garage, we saw that. Pier, L head.
Was he the one, he wasn't the one that had the, Rollins, oh, that was the other guy.
Yeah, that was the Rappahannock River guy.
Jan. Was she
Do you have that
talking-
computer that,
That plus P. Was that
Jason
not
left?
in the description?
This is one of those situations that might
Is that what
be
she's talking
useful
about?
because it might just show
Is
us
that where
what
we're
the.
gonna
Yes.
see that if
Yep.
there's a new plat?
Yep.
Okay, and just check that for future reference.
Yep.
Jason left a computer that's got like a map on it, and the map is supposed to have the tax cards, and it shows the land value and how each land value is broken down on the map.
Yeah, instead of going back and forth.
Yeah, I mean, but it may be too hard to read, but this is the kind of situation where we might be able to just look at neighboring properties on his map that he left.
Well, probably did see something y'all could actually use, so,
Yeah,
might it up.
that works here, then we can use it for other things, I think.
Neil, this next property over from Mr. Hall. Here's Hall,
Okay,
this is this one. And they've got the same thing,
250 and 10.
250 and 10,000 per acre.
wow.
But that was, I mean, that was not saying swamp, but I guess maybe,
Can you, on Google Earth, does it look like that would be, it looks like that would be the same. I don't
These
even know.
properties are over here. Just different, I mean, that's,
yeah.
Yeah, those over there, I could see where the home, I mean, I feel like he was, I just don't know how you prove it. Do those home sites get,
how about this one over here? This
Yeah.
all go across Swamp.
That's a good one.
Um,
220, is that one down there?
Right here? I
Yeah.
think so. Johnson,
land value
Ross
130?
Johnson, Ross Johnson. What was that number? 1120.
Yeah, 20, I don't know what that is. No, that's not it, is it?
I think it was 11-2s.
20.
Oh,
2-0,
Oh.
letter O.
Ah,
Nope.
jeez.
Is it, he's got instructions in there, Glenn?
There you go. 130.
See that?
Waste
Doesn't that
What's
look a
that?
little more reasonable?
Yeah, 300 per,
And yeah, and
Yeah,
130
130
on a home site?
yeah.
Same
Wasteland.
conditions.
Mm-hmm.
So
I think
waste-
that seems more similar to the Hall property and
Oh,
somewhere in his data.
Because that person's back over here. He gotta go across all that. He's back, he gotta go across all that.
Yeah.
I agree.
So they say one is wasteland and they call him swamp marsh.
And he's only 300 an acre.
this program he's got here, I mean, it's either your computer or yours. I can't do both.
I'll tell you what, you want to let Neil drive that computer by himself?
I've got a license.
I can't put it on the projector.
That's fine.
Okay.
I'll keep this on here.
Yeah.
And Neil
then
can look
just
up
if
the other
there's-
ones and,
If there's anything useful, then I'll let you know.
so I think with this one, I mean, you want to change the home site from 250 to 130?
Yeah.
That's equitable.
I mean, based on the neighbor right there,
Yeah.
and then the Swamp Marsh, we want to, I don't see why we can't redesignate that from Swamp Marsh to wasteland at 300 an acre.
It appears to be the same thing from Google Maps
Yeah.
or Google
I know.
Earth.
And they had it as swamp marsh last time at 500 an acre, so how could it have increased?
Are y'all okay with making it the same as the neighbor there, though?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, I think that's only right. All right, everybody good with those two changes?
Did he have any issues with improvements?
I don't think so, because he says he's done $75,000 roof, HVAC.
He did call that detached garage a shed.
He
Oh,
did.
yeah.
And he has no.
Yeah, he said there wasn't really a garage, it's a detached shed.
And there was no carpet.
And it's not
That
space
matters.
heat either. It's not space, I
Yeah,
crossed
he
out
got-
space.
He got
And-
a heat pump in there, I think, or he said
Yes.
he
Yes,
changed.
he
yes, I have heat pump, yeah.
Okay.
And then you said, detached garage is a
Shed.
2-car, what was it? Oh, okay, shed.
Would that, is that something that's listed in that total improvement value? The detached garage?
They've pretty much added all this stuff up.
It's just like in a appendix or something that goes with it?
It's supposed to be on the back
An
side of
addendum
one of
or
these.
something?
Yeah, I got another appendix sheet that accompanies it.
Were there some instructions in there, Glenn? I have not used GIS in about 15 years, I guess.
I mean, this is doing the same thing.
I'll see, yeah. This is a folder on the desktop. This folder is pictures from pictures of some issues.
So we good on those with Hall?
Yep.
Everybody good?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Yeah.
Crystal 11-23, Brian Hall.
Yeah.
We're changing the home site, the 1 acre home site from 250,000 to 130,000. Yeah, 250 to 130. Swamp Marsh, we're reclassifying as wasteland. So instead of 10,000 per acre, it's $300 an acre. And then for flooring, remove carpet. For heat, replace space heater with heat pump. And on the other improvements, change garage to shed.
You crossed off carpet, right?
Yes, we did.
Okay.
Yep. All right. Thank you, thank you. Kent Walker. This was the one down end of Acton Road.
That would be helpful with, if you can figure that out.
This is the
But we
one where
already
the
looked at
neighbor
it.
was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trying to read about how to search for a parcel.
Oh, jeez.
GIS is not a weird little program. They have open the project, it should look something like this. You have trouble searching for parcels. Click on the parcels item shown.
All right, so I think the main thing with this one was the home site.
I mean, it seemed like to me like he was more arguing that his neighbors was too low.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
some,
Yes. Everything else was pretty much there.
Yeah.
So I'm not quite sure what to,
215 land value,
parcels.
227 land value. 29,000 land value.
Yeah, and okay, here we go. Layer,
Oh,
properties.
so what do you charge?
Yeah.
But this is one of the
Figure
ones
out
where it's
how
like,
to,
the neighbor
search for a
has
parcel number.
owned it for so long, it's like, uh-oh.
As opposed to just trying to
Was he-
drag around.
nicely implying that he should get some economic depreciation based off of his neighborhood, or
I know, yeah.
Yeah.
how do you?
I
But if
caught
you
that in
fix-
his presentation and, yeah.
But if you make the land value comparable, that we shouldn't have to move that, right? Or I'm looking at this different.
So,
But I mean, that's the northern neck, that's gonna happen. I
Yeah.
mean,
Exactly.
You know,
Well, in fairness, I didn't say anything, but the piece for Reynolds Farm Road is the same way.
right,
30 years ago, upstanding community. Right now,
not so good.
economic depreciation.
Yeah, yeah.
It's here nor there because that's everywhere.
Yeah, it happens, right.
More so in the upper end of the county. My experience, anyway.
Well, the land value didn't really change, it's just whether or not the,
His neighbor
I
needs
can't
to
find, on the next page, it shows like the
yeah,
button
well.
to push from.
Yeah, it
Oh,
just-
his poor neighbors
It
are
really
gonna
didn't go
freak
up that
out.
much. It only went from
I'm not
200
seeing it
to
on there.
but hold on,
215.
see, this is his home right here,
Right,
Oh,
okay? The part that his neighbor's piece is right here, so it's really not even that buildable.
Yeah, that's what that struck me as, is that I think I said that when he was here, and we saw that
I mean,
a
they're
couple
not
of places
even-
last time, where
Yeah.
if the people have come in and said, I can't build on this, or it
Yeah.
doesn't perk, the county's giving them a big discount.
So
Yeah.
you're doing apples and oranges here anyway.
Yeah. And the other parcel, I guess, is right here.
yeah.
But this whole parcel here, it's this,
I mean, to me, we're not gonna lower his to $29,000.
No.
The question is, did that one need to be raised? And looking at that, I don't think so. My guess is it either doesn't perk, or it's just been assessed strangely for so long.
I mean, his land went up 15,000.
Another one where the factor went up between assessments, we don't really understand why.
The depreciation was up as well.
I mean, from a fair market perspective, could that get 505? I feel like that's probably not terrible, really far off. I think if the house is anything close to decent, it's got the big bay views.
Yeah. I wouldn't have wanted to be there Saturday night.
No.
I wouldn't be there for David
Heck, no.
anytime.
No, thank you.
No. Got some gorgeous views, but.
Yeah, it seems like it should be straightforward, but there's gotta be some menu to go into to get there. Yeah. Would you be able to call Jason, or is that something I should try to call him and see if I can learn how to
I'll be happy to.
search for it?
Oh, here we go.
I don't know if it'll be useful useful for us or not, but it could be. Yeah. Thanks, Glenn.
Not too shabby.
It's not too shabby. It's just, the land's low there. I mean, that
Yeah.
is what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's hard from a fair market value. It's also, I feel like if it was built on stilts or something, then potentially it would be a little bit easier from a realtor perspective
Yeah.
to sell it. I could see where that kind of construction and that location, you'd have a fair amount of people who would love the view, but would potentially, I don't know why the factor would have gone up. I know that's kind of a subjective thing. Given the neighborhood and the location. But I mean, I don't think from a fair market value, I could tell you whether or not it should be 450 or 500 or 625 without,
Well, the fact that it went up $80 a square foot, went up $100,000 just the square footage, so
yeah.
we take the factor down to 100. And physical depreciation, it's going up 4 and 4 years, 5 years?
It's gone from 8 to 12, so that seems, at least it's going the right direction.
Well, if you have anything, those properties right there on the bay, they're gonna get beat to, you know what?
Right.
Yeah. Trying to think, you think of anything, I mean, I'm also thinking, there's a couple of properties, I think they went off market, but, down like Chesapeake.
Trail?
Yeah, they like went off market for crazy, I've been talking to a lady there for way too long, trying to get her to sell her house, and like, oh, my neighbor sold theirs for 700,000. Wow, okay.
Yeah.
And, but that's all, it's not any data that we can grab. Yeah.
I think we ought to look at factor at 100 and physical depreciation maybe 15.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Sound good?
Yep.
Yep.
RJ, Ms. Davis?
We'll leave his neighbors alone.
Factors 100.
You good with that, RJ?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, just the depreciation, just the factor would drop him down around 491, 492.
Yeah,
Plus you're adding what, 3%?
the depreciation,
Yeah, I
yeah.
think that's fair.
All right. Kent Walker, 35A, 1. Bless
Bless
you.
you.
Factor, we're taking down from 106 to 100. And physical depreciation from 12% to 15%. All right, Ann Carter, Oak Road. Our poor grandson's living in this house. That she's pulling hard love to. Good for her,
Maybe he needs it.
you know? But it doesn't sound like, this is one of the three-room house, you said?
Yeah.
Oh, this
But then
So,
she did say it has
G-
2 bedrooms.
2 bedrooms and a long room.
Yeah.
Is, G to F is a downgrade?
Good to fair? Yeah.
Okay. And you-
Was it good before?
it went from G to F, but the
Okay.
factor increased by 3 points.
That doesn't make any sense.
No, but he also gave him another 12% depreciation, so,
Yeah, he was trying to help based
yeah.
on the, that's where, like, to me, the really big houses end up with massive changes because you're applying a much higher price per square foot to a way bigger house. And it seems like these little houses, there's just something quirky about the way the model kind of works, where the little houses, it seems kind of crazy to go for 120% change in value on this little house.
Can you pull the picture up on this one?
Yeah, well, you want vominant picture?
Yeah.
Okay. What's this one? 865, okay.
But again, I mean, there's not a whole lot out there selling for under 150,000.
No.
So would you find somebody
No.
who would want to buy it and fix it up and have it as a rental?
No? Where's tax map?
21 and 18.
There we go.
That's from 2002.
That's 22 years ago.
I think,
If that picture was taken,
yeah, I think I drew.
I was like, if that was the picture we're looking at now, I mean, wait a minute, this doesn't look
Yeah.
so bad.
Yeah,
No,
that
I-
house would be worth 134,000.
Yeah.
I think like the front porch was
Oops, sorry.
really rough.
You seen this one, Jan?
Well, I was down Hoe Cake yesterday, walking 40 acres. And I glanced at these houses, I didn't study them, but I think this one was pretty rough.
I'm curious if there's anything in the contract for these guys about updating photos. It'd sure make our job a lot easier
I know.
Wouldn't it?
if the photos are not 20 years old. I don't know why they take new photos sometimes
Our
and
house has
sometimes they
been
don't.
built for 10 years. We still have photos of it.
It seems like that should be part of the contract to capture photos of houses that,
However, if they don't go to the house, you can't take the photos. So they may go, oops, well.
yeah, I mean, I get
No,
why,
but you're exactly right.
I get why some of them are missing. Some of them you can't get if they're down the road.
You're right, it should be updated.
You gotta worry
photos.
about safety, but getting that data
But
when at all
Durham, you got all
possible.
these sorts of, fancy cameras, you can hover over people's properties now.
yeah,
I
you can
mean,
take it from the air, from
I
the
know.
night.
And wasn't he talking about some
Yeah,
sort
but
of
some of
aerial?
these,
But
some of these
you might not get a
aerials are
hit on
not,
it if you take it now, 10 years ago. The house looked better.
Yeah.
So you might get a
Like
hit
this
on
one,
it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's true.
but like the aerials,
So
even
who
part
puts it
of
on
this
there?
process.
The realtor?
This was,
These pictures are uploaded from whoever did the general reassessments
Oh.
from that year, but so the last time, so we
Yeah.
took a picture of this house was
2000.
22 years ago.
22, I didn't even have any
And you
children.
go there now, that's before, that's
No kids.
before, okay.
Wow, that was a lifetime ago.
So it looks terrible now.
Like Neil's saying, from now on, all new assessments should have a current photo.
Yeah.
That
Yeah,
would alleviate some questionable,
Yeah.
but you only got one guy working in this area.
Well, don't you have a drone? Can't you go fly your drone around?
She got plenty of time, she can
Yeah,
do
you got all
it.
the time in the world, Miss Davis. All right, what do y'all want to do here? Factor and depreciation,
Okay, we changed the rooms, we're taking out a carpet.
the factor improved on this one, 3, which is crazy.
especially
And
since the
depreciation-
condition changed.
Went down.
Yeah.
That's crazy. So. 5 years ago, what if we said the factor went down to 95 and depreciation up to 35, 40,
I was gonna say 40.
40? All right. Anybody have heartburn with that?
Right, you said the factor's 95?
Factor up to 95 and physical depreciation up to 40.
Yeah.
RJ, good?
Yeah.
All right. Crystal? On Miss Ann Carter, 21-18, we're gonna take the factor from 98 to 95 and move the physical depreciation from 25 to 40%. Yep.
It's just bizarre, they changed the condition, but yet. Ay, ay, ay.
Just don't make no sense. All right. France and Jack Geyer. This was the one where they were arguing their land, I think, value more than anything, because it wasn't. on
That
the-
was that Oriental
Yes.
couple.
Yep. They bought a big house where Whitestone Beach used to be. Mm-hmm. Big house right up there. You're overlooking the Rappahannock. But the whole sliver of land where the waterfront is a separate tax map parcel.
Oh, yeah, that's right, I remember seeing that lot.
Yeah. So it's kind of unique.
But they own it.
They do, yeah, because the seller owned both of them, so when she sold it, it all came together, even though it's 2 separate
Parcels,
parcels,
okay.
right? Yeah.
That's,
Record numbers
Is
up
this-
here. Okay.
Why is the factor that high? Because this is a unique
That's
property,
the whole, character number?
It's gotta be because
an outlier.
it's a huge, big house. I'm guessing, yeah.
Okay, because
Was it 250 or something, wasn't it?
225,
That's, yeah.
haven't seen that yet. But
We
this
haven't-
is
we
the
haven't seen anything
one,
that high.
hey, this is the one where they have, I'm not sure if it matters, but the home site's 2 acres rather than 1. It doesn't reflect that in the per acre into the value, but that's probably not correct, is it? You don't have a 2-acre home site?
Maybe
Right,
it's,
we asked for that, it should be a 1 acre
I
home
don't,
site.
is that how the county designates it?
I think
It's
it
just an
is.
acre?
But I wonder if that's because of the size of the house.
yeah, that's what I was thinking, maybe,
Yeah.
maybe the house extends over there.
Yeah, well, 6,500 square feet. It's a good one,
That's a good one.
yeah.
Well, the house is literally right here. I mean, it's right in the middle.
So that takes up,
Yeah.
But, you know, it's.
how many
decent amount of-
acres is it? Oh, it's
6.3.
Yeah,
I think it's just that, that's it.
so,
Yeah.
maybe the way the
Well,
house
in
is
fairness, it
situated.
was 2 acres on the original, the old tax card too, so I missed that, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Oh, it was, and they gave residual 4.
Yeah,
So they bumped that number up 25,000 from the last time.
So, the way the parcel is shaped, maybe the house,
Now, one thing I'm interested to see what this one right next door is.
okay,
So land value 478.4. Enough, let's see.
That's a brand-new house, right?
I was looking at just the land value.
Okay.
Last time I was down there, they were building something. I guess, is that a house that's going on there?
Yeah. They were, it's been a couple of years now since I've been down there, but
14 River Bluff.
What is the tax number supposed to be for
3997, the tax map number
Same thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
it's
No.
No, because that's 1
The
acre.
residual is
10 instead of
10,000,
40.
and this
Oh,
one's
yeah.
45,000.
Right. Huh.
Pretty substantial.
so,
Now, they
So
were
the
they were
record number
arguing
was-
this lot here too, though.
Right.
'Cause
But
they
that's-
said that lot doesn't have any water frontage on the river. It's got pond frontage. And they're at 261. Let's see, Taylor Land Company.
here. So what features?
But I think that the River Bluff one is more
I agree.
in comparison than that one.
Okay, gotcha.
This parcel here.
Yep.
Okay,
Yeah.
let's try it for the new one since that worked. Let's see.
Well, if we do that, if we leave the,
11.
if we leave the home site the way it is
Okay, yeah, that's it.
and take the residual down from 45,000, 10,000 acre,
You save them 150
that would,
or so.
that'd take care of land piece and improvement piece. Only thing we could do is factor is still the same at 225.
They've put economic depreciation on it this time, whereas before they
They
didn't.
did, yeah.
It's not showing the layer thing. It's not showing the data.
I just don't know what the economic depreciation of that is.
I think that's the real estate database there.
I don't know. That's what we,
Unless they're saying that because they don't own the waterfront, maybe that's the difference?
but they really do own the waterfront.
But that
you know?
owner does, yeah.
Does it just having the road go down there? I mean, that doesn't really bother it, but did someone think that, because it used to be public access, right?
Right.
But it's not really anymore.
It's like all the data that's in the real estate database.
What about physical depreciation? You want to bump that up a
The way
little
that
bit?
it was, is it used to
I think
be
so.
like the aerial
Maybe 20? All
Yeah,
right. Then that's the two changes.
values.
I think so.
RJ, you good with that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Neil, you good with that?
What were we doing? Sorry. Yes.
That's all right. No, look, so the neighbor next door, we looked at, here's his land.
Okay,
So the home site was the same, but their price per acre was 10,000, where this one was 45,000.
okay,
So we're taking this to be the same as that, at 10,000.
okay,
And then we're taking the physical depreciation from 16 to 20.
okay.
Because the house is getting older, but,
Yeah, it had a lot going on with it at the time. I think
Yeah.
some of it they've solved, but
all right, Crystal. 34,276. We are just changing the residual for the land. Instead of 45,000 per acre, 10,000 per acre. And
could just be a lag.
changing the physical depreciation from 16 to 20%.
And I don't see how we could adjust the strip, the old beach. Do you?
There's no comp for that.
Right.
What do they have that as?
23,900.
I'd buy it for that. Even if I
Oh,
couldn't build
you
a
know
house.
what?
Daggone right.
Hang on, you know what, though?
Oh, there it is.
What about 639, new house improvement, 2001, garage with apartment over on Ford.
Where's the dock?
Do they have a dock on there now?
The dock is on the waterfront parcel. So
That'd be
we-
277A.
Yes, and that's in here too.
It's not on there.
I think that might be on the house.
Oh, did he say that?
They did.
Oh, that's one of the ones where the total improvements, it's not showing it.
Total improvements, yeah, so I wonder if there's a way for us to,
Worth having over here, but if something else comes up, I'll see if I can do anything with it. Thank you.
Oh, hold on a minute.
I see it up top now.
Yeah. Is that it?
It's boat lift, small, pier, pier.
Yeah.
So I think we need to correct that and put that on the correct parcel.
So that's not on with the house, really? It's on the other parcel?
It's on 277A.
Okay.
So that's just a measure. Crystal, for, I guess, for 34,276, also, we need to remove, for other improvements, we need to remove the 3-pier section and the small boat lift. And actually, the concrete slab, no, let's leave that. And then we need to add that, though, to 34,277A. So, yeah, for 34,277A, we need to add the 1, 2, 3 pier sections and small boat lift from tax map 34,276.
Is this an addition, new house, or this is the same? She says here, new house improved for 2001, garage with apartment over. Would it be an additional house?
Well, the house was built then.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then that's right.
Okay.
All right.
Anything else on 277A?
No, that was it. It was just cleaning it up, making sure they had the pier with it and taking it off the other parcel. All right. Moving right along. Ken and Karen Knoll. And he was just interested in the improvement value. And this is where he added solar panels.
Right.
And we don't know if that may have changed the factor from 100, I'm sorry, from 110 to 116.
GC, they bumped up the physical depreciation quite a lot.
Yeah, from 10 to 38
And honestly, I mean, right, this is like the lowest
increase.
increase, except for maybe Glenn.
Glenn made it easy on us.
Yeah, but Glenn made it easy. Of anyone, you know, if you've got that factor situation, that's kind of a random number has gone up. But it kind of surprises me to see that. I mean, none of the properties are going, none of the improvement values are going up because people made improvements. It's that the value of the improvements on the property are going up because property values are going up and, the only thing I see there is the factor, which is just
You want
a random number conceivably, but he's got a pretty nice piece of land, right? That his house is on, it looked like it was kind of a point.
Yeah, it just looked pretty.
They're just, with the differences in the home sites, could we see maybe a comparable next to him and what that home
Yeah.
site value is?
to? Absolutely. 26, 14C. All right, so there's this property.
26, okay.
You want to look at 14A.
Okay, so, this thing. Expression.
149 and 157.
Well, that's a marina.
That's a
That's
marina,
different,
yeah.
right?
130. 139.
So obviously, they don't have a home site value as high as his.
Right.
Does it break it down to what that is?
You want to look at
Or
that
is
one broken
you have
down?
to see the card, I guess? Well, that one's probably a similar view than what he has, right?
All right, let's look at that then. That's
2613.
153, 2613, thank you. $130 and 9.
That's a big difference.
He's got a tremendous amount of water frontage, though.
2614G. $139.
So would the amount of water frontage he's got, does that go into the home site figure, or is that your residual? I mean, how do they come up with that value for that home site? Is that
That's a
a
great question.
standard? I mean, obviously, it's not standard, it's different and different. We've seen different ones.
Yeah, because
but-
there's three right side by side by side, they're all at 130.
And you got him at 275.
When he was here, he said that that had something to do with that map thing that he had. So it's supposed to be taking into account shoreline and home site and stuff. No idea how accurate it was. And then on that one, it just didn't change much from the last
So it couldn't be the acreage.
assessment.
Well, his land didn't change.
Nope.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he was arguing if you're taxed for the solar panel, how can you get taxed twice? So what if we took that factor from 116 and made 112? That's still more than what he got assessed for, but it's not as drastic as the 6% over.
From a fair market value standpoint, could the house sell for 736,800?
I've never been in the house, have y'all?
Yeah, I don't know.
No, I know it, but I haven't been in it.
Let's see what it looks like. Oh,
Nothing's,
I got pretty views there.
I got. Oh,
Would that sell for 7 something?
With the pool?
I'd have to say, yes, probably.
yeah,
With those views, probably a pretty good deal.
yeah. You got antennas.
That's a good place for a pool party.
Well, he didn't invite us 5 years ago. I don't think he's gonna do it.
I know.
I'll have to get Katie on board. Sorry, Katie, I'm going to have the board over for a little party after this.
That's right.
Well, we can leave it. We can adjust it.
You got a pool.
It's $80,000 difference increase in his improvement value.
And that seems to be pretty low compared to, we've seen some off-water homes go up significantly more than 80,000,
Yeah, and I mean, they bumped up the physical improvement 28%, so,
the physical depreciation,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, pool house.
Y'all want to leave it alone? No change?
Okay.
I don't mind changing the factor. What do you think, Neil?
Yeah, that's just such a random
I know.
number that it's a, yeah, I don't know, at some point, again, if we don't want to do too many of these, we gotta start being mean at some point, but, or not mean, it's just, you know, a question, and if we think it would sell for that,
Well, why can't, if his argument was against the solar panels, right? They didn't put a value on that anyway.
Right.
Why can't we just take the factor back to 110 where it was? I'll calculate it real quick if you want to see. I think it took him back down, if I did it right, it took him back down to like 720 on his total value.
That'd be less than where he is now.
right, which is the,
Oh, okay.
Right, save him, it'd knock off about 16 grand.
Yeah?
yeah, I mean, there's a leg to stand on, we've been doing that with people, because the factor just seems so random, so I could see change going back to the old factor.
And he did get a nice bump on the physical depreciation.
Yeah.
They were
With
trying
that
to,
considering, I wouldn't give him anything else,
Right.
just return to what it was at the last assessment.
All right.
All right? Everybody good with that?
Yep.
Yeah, swamp.
2614 C Crystal, Kennedy Karen Knoll, the only change is the factor going from 116 to 110. David Coakley. Do I need a restroom break? Good. All right. Davis. This is the one, he was on the river,
Yep.
just down from High Bank.
Big old packet of information.
Man, I thought I had it working, but now I can't make it go anywhere again.
This is one that decreased in the square footage. Did we get an explanation for why? Add all that, I don't know. Doesn't matter.
That's right, it was 3242 before, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Because for whatever reason, the assessor changed it from 1.6 stories to 1.5 stories.
that's what this one was, okay.
Yeah.
So I think I'm okay to sort of leaning on trusting the assessor on that one, or,
Yeah. So, again, land value, no arguments. I think it was just the improvement value. So, 120, 120. Physical depreciation took from 10 to 14%. Only thing he corrected was no carpet. The price per square foot, that's a big one.
The garage on the second piece of property is incorrect, okay.
I mean, the price per square foot doubled from 253 to 524,000. Year-old house.
so no, it's a unique spot. He did have some land value questions, but I think the reason his land value is, he thought that the other land values were, but he was like talking the neighboring property having 4.5 acres and him only having 2.5 acres, and his was only 16% less. But that's because your home site value is gonna be the same for both properties, and then that residual 2 acres for the neighboring property, that's that field back there, isn't getting a whole bunch of value, right? That's probably residual.
Yeah, and I would argue his extra home site here, you've got cleared view of the water. Got a nice sand beach.
Home site 320, home site 320, home site 290. It seems like the home sites are in there, and then all the residuals, that, this thing isn't working perfectly, but if anybody wants to look at this thing that he provided, it's hard to like find what you're looking for, but I mean, this is the high banks here. So home site 320 for this neighboring property, and then 1.49 at 10,000 for residual, and home site 320, 3.05 acres.
So this was 290 and 10,000.
So they're all pretty darn close
So probably not out of whack there.
together there. But it's got all the stairs and stuff down, would it sell for $1 million being on the Rappahannock right now?
We can't, that one we got,
Close quarters?
no, well, that one too, I'm surprised, but,
Yeah.
River Bluff for 1195, older
Yeah,
home, people
yeah.
said love it, but all these steps,
All the
no.
stairs, yeah.
And they said if it was under $1 million, we'd probably do something with it. So I think people love those views, but I think those steps are a hard thing for a lot of people.
So what would I don't think it's crazy far off,
No, I don't either.
3,000 square
It looks
feet.
like, it looks like a nice house.
This is one where the factor stayed the same, the physical depreciation. I think a lot of waterfront property has gone up in value 50% between 2018, when they
Yeah.
pulled the data for the last assessment.
Yeah.
So to me, once you start getting up to 60, 70, and 100%, you're like, that's, but 50 is not, I get why people have heartburn about it, but I don't think it's unreasonable to say that potentially. The only thing there is just that, it's hard to determine fair market value when you've got that much elevation.
Right.
It's just impossible to say when you,
Well, could that be an economical depreciation then? Because of the elevation of steps, that would be a turnoff to a lot of people? That's something you really can't change?
Is it economic or functional?
that might be a little bit more functional.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep,
yeah.
yep.
Because we did functional for SETA, right, because of the topography?
Right.
So then, I mean, same thing, right?
That's a great point. Yeah, it's something that,
I mean, it's nitpicking, you're still gonna give them a break, but, I mean, technically,
You go, I don't know. And then from an equalization, standpoint with everybody, how do you, obviously, we're not gonna go around and look at everybody, stop suggesting that, but, I don't know if you'd kind of take that into account on the factor in some way, that, the property, but I could see either way. Right, if we did a 10% economic, then it'd be
Or
around
10
900,000.
10% functional and then go down 10 on the factor?
I guess I would do one or the other.
Or you wanna
I
leave the
wouldn't-
factor and
I
do
wouldn't
10?
do both. I think at 900, that's good now. Maybe it would only sell for 800 because of the stairs if you tried to put it on the market. But
All right, so y'all
but
wanna
maybe
do-
somebody would come in and buy it for 900 real quick because there's not a whole lot of Rappahannock views with,
So we're proposing leave the factor, leave physical and do functional 10%?
Yeah.
RJ, give that?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
it's a long way down there.
Yeah.
Makes sense to me.
All right, Crystal, and on the land, the side, y'all, are we taking any action on the lot beside it? Hold on, we're not,
do you
The only
have
thing that was on
to,
there was the-
do you have to offer the same thing for that?
Or wasn't that the one that was, the garage should have been on that one?
Right, the
No,
garage,
it had been corrected at
Oh,
some
okay,
point.
okay.
I don't think you do, because there's no home on it. There's no steps already down there to it. I wouldn't think.
That's the only reason I might take the factor down to 110 rather than add functional depreciation, because there's yet all those properties in there that are kind of similar.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
So instead of the 10%, do 110.
Yeah.
Okay.
From a factor.
Does that have the same effect? You're essentially, instead of multiplying it by 120, you're multiplying it by 110. That has at least a very similar,
So we're gonna leave the land the way it is, the lot next door?
yeah.
it's vacant, right?
It's vacant,
Yeah, right, 'cause that's what
And the only improvement on there is
He's
the
saying
riprap.
Yeah.
All right.
he put the garage
All right,
on it.
Crystal, so for Mr. Coakley, 34212H, we are taking the factor from 120 to 110 and removing carpet from the flooring. Yep, that's it for that. And then for his other parcel, 34212F, no change. All right, Diane Mumford.
Do you remember that house? It was a bank sale.
Yeah, we built the house beside it way back in 2006. Melissa Buns, she bought it from G.C. Dawson. It was a foundation. She bought it, and then I think she put the spec house on it, and it sold to Diane. Yeah.
It was in foreclosure, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep. Yeah, that's one where, I mean, to me, the fair market value of that kind of jumps out. Because you're on the water, but.
No way.
I think you'd have a hard time getting
Yeah.
And that's gotta be, that's the biggest house.
680,000, but it's just one of those where the square footage is so big.
Yeah, the biggest house in
But
the
it's,
neighborhood.
but it's builder grade.
Yes.
Yeah, very, yeah,
Yes.
very builder grade.
Oh, old Mr. Zimmerman's house at the very end of the cove probably was big, might have been this size, but much nicer quality.
Yeah, we sold the Zimmerman place,
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, the water is not, I
Oh,
forget
my
what that one.
Lord. Yeah.
for.
All right, so let's look, old tax car, 105. I think the factor needs to be bumped down.
Okay.
I mean, I think 100, I mean, I almost could see the factor being under 100, just because for a waterfront home,
Yeah,
you know, I mean, the reason I don't think Jack and Francis' house was 225 is because it's this stunning, everything
Yeah.
about it is kind of over the top, whereas, particularly for a waterfront home,
yeah.
everything is kind of underwhelming from a waterfront perspective. Are there any good comps for, I mean, right, Zimmerman's about the only,
I know.
obvious, but I don't know, that wasn't 2023, that would have been, I think that happened during COVID, but
That was a long time.
it's been a few years.
Why do you suppose they have a economic depreciation on this one?
It comes over from the old one, so it just seems like some stuff doesn't get changed.
And again, that might be because of water depth,
Yeah,
lack of views.
water depth, lack of views. And what do you think? I think you get 500 for that house.
Yeah, I'd say probably 5 to 550-ish,
Did you get-
maybe top end for it.
Yeah. I mean, someone with a family would love the space. For a lot of people, they wouldn't need all that space.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
Right, GC, I mean, GC condition class seems fair for the building.
I think definitely increased depreciation.
That's one where you know, for 4,000 square feet, 171 a square foot, I feel like we've seen a lot of houses at 171 a square foot that
Yeah.
are 3,000 square foot houses.
Right.
So to apply that 171 a square foot over 4,000 square feet is,
Yeah.
I don't know how we. I can't really change that, so it's.
Well, you want to do factor down at 90? And then physical, maybe 20?
Yeah, I was gonna say 16 to 20 at
Because
least.
that, I mean, I know the back deck before they bought it was in rough shape.
Was it? Okay.
The front porch was in rough shape.
So 90 on the,
90 factor, physical 20?
that would bring you down to, and then 10% there. I think that would get you about to 543.
What's that now?
I think that would get you to 543
Total.
total.
Yeah,
Which is-
I think that's more market.
That's certainly within
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
the range. So yeah, I'm good with that.
You all good with that, those changes for Mumford? All right, Crystal. Mumford 27E15, factor from 106 to 90. And physical depreciation from 13% to 20%. All right, Brant and Joanne Udy.
I think we're getting a little bit better at this, kind of rolling through at the moment.
Yeah. This was the commercial property on 3 there in Whitestone.
All
One
right,
big,
did we need a Beth or Marlon for this one?
For the zoning.
yes, for the zoning question and the difference in the land. Because wasn't that the,
Well,
well,
they've got all 7 acres at a commercially zoned rate of $40,000 an acre.
yeah,
I've got some insight on that if you care to hear.
please,
Yeah.
yes.
I spoke to Olivia about about it during one of our breaks, and she promised to look into it, but in the meantime, while I was over here in my chair, I went on into our files to look, to try to look into exactly what happened there, because it's kind of stuck out in my mind. I've been here a long time, so I've got a lot of this information floating around in here. It kind of occurred to me that at some point in time, part of that property was zoned commercial, and part of it was left with the original zoning.
Okay.
So what I was able to find out in some of the documentation that we have on file here, it appears that this property was originally 9 acres, and it was zoned A2.
Okay,
Way back in 1987, it looks like the owner at the time, his name was David Sims, requested that the property be rezoned from A2 to C2. And what the Board of Supervisors did at that time was they did a conditional rezoning of 2 acres of the property from A2 to C2. At some point in time after that, probably 5 or 6 years, they rezoned the part that had been rezoned to C2 conditionally, they rezoned that conditionally to C1. And at some point in time after that, they did a subdivision of the back part. That's what we now know as 3450A.
okay,
They did a subdivision of that off of 3450. So as it is right now, the 3450, the front part is the 7 acres, and there's another 2 acres back behind it. So the zoning map appears to be incorrect. It looks like only a portion of 3450 is actually supposed to be zoned commercial. The problem is, when they do things like that, I can adjust the zoning map and split that parcel up into 2 parts for the purposes of showing the different zoning. The problem is if I don't have some sort of a survey or whatever that has a definitive line,
Right.
it's really kind of hard for me to divide that up.
absolutely.
Right.
Only thing we can just, I guess we can just assume that that the front part where he's got his business is that part that was intended to be C1. So it does appear that only a portion of that property is actually intended to be commercial.
Can you revert to the numbers from the old tax card at 1.5 acres, which I'm assuming would be the commercial part?
Well, that might be why we might have to go back and get the folks in the commissioner's office to answer a question as far as what you can do with the values.
Yeah, because remember Brant, he said he figured that about.
He thought it was closer to
1.5 was-
1.5, yeah.
All right, so you want me to still go back and do?
Yeah, I guess so. Well, that'd be great. Thank you, though, for your insight. That's interesting, how you could have something
what's new on here?
rezone without a request.
Yeah, not only that, but that one parcel could be zoned too.
No problem.
Shoot, you see it all the time in Matthews. Oh, split zoning everywhere over there, everywhere over there.
The same parcel?
Yeah.
First time I've ever heard that.
Yep.
Hey, conditions change, right?
Now, I don't know, because I don't do commercial, but I mean, all the time I see A1 and residential or waterfront residential and agricultural all on the same parcel.
Yeah, I've not seen, I just feel like in Camartic, I've had some people complain about the storage unit thing that they're doing on the corner. And when I talked to the town about it, when that wasn't part of the town, however long ago it was, and then the town annexed that part of it. And apparently when the town does that, they just keep the zoning with whatever the county zoning was. But then that zoning, whatever the town rules are, applies. And so that was always C1. And C1, or right by use, is storage unit
Yeah.
thing. There's nothing the town could do. Like, we can't go in and go, oh, because this is right where you come into town, we like the pretty woods, we're gonna change your zoning to residential,
Right.
because that's what we think is better. The property
Yeah, I
owner would
get
have, the
that, yeah.
property owner would have to come in and wanna change the zoning for some reason.
Right.
It just sounds like with this one that somebody somewhere,
I can see how, I mean, because there's
Yeah.
not a whole lot of split zoning, I can't think of a split zoning that it,
Probably just Beth.
it, okay.
okay.
All right. So that means
Yeah.
we get two answers instead of just one answer?
Well, y'all have both been here as long as Glenn's been here, right? Been employed here that long?
Unfortunately, yes.
I know you have. Well, Beth.
Brant Udy's property, Kilmarnock Auto Clinic. The old tax card has 1.5 acres of being a commercial at 60,000 an acre, and 5.5 acres at 9,000 an acre. New one has 2 acres, but they're all the same price. Problem is, Brant said the front portion, the acre and a half, should be C1, but he never had a request to have the back portion rezoned, and there's no records anywhere of it changing the zoning. So how should we handle the valuing of two different parcels when the taxpayer says it was one way, it was A2, and then all of a sudden it just got arbitrarily changed to C1 now? And there's no record of it.
The zoning on the card has definitely been changed.
Old card says C2 and the new card says C2.
Yeah.
But, and you can see right here, because it's got 60,000 and then.
Well, you can't put split zoning on the card, for starters. So if it's a parcel that's zoned C2 and A2, that's not gonna show on here. The C2 will show because it's obviously being used for commercial use.
Okay.
And another thing I fall back on is not all of our zonings are correct. That's not due to any fault of ours, or, if you don't receive notice that a zoning has changed, you can't exactly do that. That's not so much a problem now as it has been in the past. So, with that said, in my opinion, and I defer to you, if he's saying that an acre and a half of it is zoned for commercial and the rest is not, you can change that.
Change use the acre and a half as a commercial value and change the rest of it as a
As we
Go back to the way,
okay.
residential value.
the way that it was before,
Okay.
if you so choose to do that.
Gotcha. I mean, I guess the zoning part was one question. The other question was, can there be two different zones on a piece of property, zoning on a piece of property?
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
So the-
It just can't, it just
But it
don't
can't
show
show
on
It
the
won't show
card.
on the card.
Yes.
Instead of calling
Okay.
the extra 5.5 acres commercial for type, could we put, maybe residual is the better way to label that? Can we change that label? I don't know.
Would that be easier or make more sense than to keeping it?
No, don't keep, I wouldn't wouldn't keep it as commercial, I don't think.
No, it would
It's-
clarify it
So
tremendously.
the 1.5 acres commercial, and then the 5.564 residual.
Yes, yeah.
Gotcha.
Residual covers. a lot
Residual
of
or
things.
what, yeah, residual is
Okay.
is in general.
That's an all-encompassing term, but it's a good one.
That's a good term. Okay.
I like it.
Thank y'all.
Thank
Do we need any other commercial tax cards to check that $56 a square foot? Just to see if there's any
Yes.
Connemara, maybe Brad Smith's place in Kilmarnock, to see
Yep.
what his per square foot is.
Yes.
I mean, maybe A&M Auto would be another car repair place, just to see if those are all the exact same, or if there's
What's,
any variation in there.
it's the one on the Rapid Loop. It's on the other end of the same street.
Rapid Lube.
It's on, the
Where, located where?
Rapid Loop's on the same
Oh,
road. It's
yeah.
just on
On the other corner.
like you're headed to Irvington.
So Rapid Loop, Connemara, and,
Like you were going to
A&M
Historic Christ
in
Church.
Kilmarnock.
Oh, okay.
can we look at those? Couple?
Oh, okay.
That's the one right there at that intersection.
Which, you want 2024?
I'd say just one, instead of 5 copies, just one of the past one and one of the current one for each of them. Thank y'all. That's a good idea.
We got 15 minutes.
Yep.
While they're pulling that, do we want to talk about Norma Jean? Or
Who?
Who?
Norma Jean Remicko?
Or Manco.
Is that the next one?
Joan?
I think her name is Joe.
I thought you said Norma Jean.
Well, it says Norma Jean on.
That's what's on the
card.
card.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Now I'm thinking Norma Jean Edwards.
I don't know who she is.
I know.
Yeah,
never
not that,
said you
not that
punch
Norma
you. I'm
Jean.
like, what?
Oh, yeah.
Wait a minute.
You guys want to talk about Norma Jean?
I think her real name is Joe, but I think it's just, I'm not mistaken, on
Well, can we, with Brant's, can we all at least agree to the land
Yeah.
Yeah.
that we're gonna take it commercial at 1.5 acres at 60,000,
For right now, until we,
and then the rest we're gonna call residual at 9,000,
Yep.
and then we'll deal with the, once they get back, we'll deal with the building and stuff, okay?
And potentially the commercial value too.
Values,
Yeah.
right.
If that's different between any of them.
All right,
Right.
so, I see, Norma Jean, Araminta.
Spring Hill.
Yep,
we are coming here tomorrow, right?
yes.
God.
No, 15 minutes,
ay,
we'll get it all in real quick. Let's see. 21.
If we can get this one, then we would have gotten everybody.
All right, so she was hitting it up for depreciation big time.
Yeah. Which, no, physical depreciation didn't increase at all.
Wow.
So that's definitely a lever that we could hit. Market value wise, could you get $1 million for 4,000 square feet on Spring Hill?
And also, she said something about her pier being in such bad shape. I wonder if we could hit any kind of depreciation on that.
Yeah, no, is this, okay, this is another one. We have the old tax card somewhere, right? There's no field notes on this one.
Oh, that's right.
But I think they were able to get the old tax card. Yeah,
It does look like a nice house.
yeah. And then stuff, stuff is selling for $1 million out there these days. What creek is Spring Hill on?
That's gonna be,
Spring Hill
Yeah,
is off of Ottoman Ferry
yeah,
Road.
what is that creek that runs up there, though?
it's not right on the Cortoman, right?
It's
Some
not
of them-
Meyer. No, it's not Meyer.
What is that little creek right there? Is
Oh,
it
you are
Payne-
kind of-
Is it Payne's Creek?
No,
Lowry Creek Road?
Lowry Creek.
Lowry Creek.
Okay.
That's it.
But yeah, it looks like at her house, you're looking right out at the Cortoman, though.
Yeah, I bet she's
I
got
was-
a pretty view.
Yeah.
And there's a couple that are further up Larry Creek that,
Here she is, right here.
What? Oh, I was looking at this.
She's looking back up.
I don't think a million's crazy, depending on other factors. They got the economic depreciation on there. I wonder if that's for steps down. I could see bumping the depreciation up since it was only 15% last time. But I think that's more expensive than a $750,000 house, certainly
Right.
from the looks of it. 850, 950,
House is
900.
27 years old.
And I feel like it would certainly list, unless the inside was super dated and there was a lot of deferred maintenance, I think it would certainly list over $1 million these days.
Yeah, she said wood floor, wood first floor, then carpet second floor in the bedroom.
Yeah.
Now, again, that's one of those total change, 28% is not. And her main take was that she hadn't made any improvements, which
Right.
is not, unfortunately, how the. That's cool with that upper balcony and the sunroom and a.
Can you park under the house?
No. We got a little storage area there.
Oh, okay. I thought it was,
Y'all want to leave factor at 120 and take depreciation up?
You could bump that a little just because of the age of the house, right?
Another 5% maybe?
I
okay.
mean, the way that she was making it sound, I could see going, I don't know exactly what number to put on it. She didn't have any pictures, did she?
No,
She wasn't the flip phone person. Yeah, I guess that's a question, 20 or 25. We're not really kind of shooting in the dark a little bit and just kind of basing it off of her description.
I'd be careful using, excuse me, I'd be careful using this A&M one for two reasons. Number one, it's in the town of Mark,
right,
so it's arbitrarily going to be higher
Right.
because of that.
Okay.
And in the past, the way properties that sit in the town of Kilmarnock on the main road with acreage, they're done, the first acre at least is done by the front foot. And Jason didn't do that. He took the acreage and put it at 230,000 an acre and ran with it. I have an opinion on that, which I won't
okay,
say, but I think you have to bear that in mind if you think about that.
okay,
Anyway.
okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, so
The-
physical depreciation.
Physical depreciation, what do you want to do? 20, 25?
I wouldn't go any more than 25.
No, I wouldn't even. We can do 22.
22?
It's fair.
Like it.
A deuce, yeah.
Done.
Okay, Crystal. For Joan Aramento, 2135E, physical depreciation from 15 to 22%. And also for the flooring, add carpet. All right,
Yeah,
Do you want to,
jumping back to Udi.
go back to Udi, yeah.
you want to, okay,
Might as well, we got,
10 minutes?
9.
well, we've already taken care of McWhirter and Glenn, so this is it.
What do these all say? I'm not looking at it. There's Connemara. Rabaloo of the Bay, Rabaloo of the Bay,
We'll take care of this whole thing, but that's good.
Rabaloo of the Bay.
Yeah, you good?
Everybody,
That's Connemara.
Connemara. Connemara is 80,000 an acre,
80K an acre,
commercial,
okay.
and then he's got a bunch of different, price point. The Connemara is a lower price than, which I think would be higher, I think from a fair market value for business, trying to buy a Connemara would be an easier
Yeah.
thing. And then, is this Rapid Loop?
I don't know, David, will you bring up the GIS again?
Yep, what you got? Tax
So 45A is oh, okay, hold on. 34,
Uh-huh.
what do we, where is Brent? He's 3450.
50?
Yeah. Yeah, 45 is the one he just said, that's Connemara, so they are
The Lord.
80,000 for 2 acres. Whoa, wait a minute. What?
I don't know.
Some of them are the 2019 land book and some of them are the 2024.
Oh, no, what the heck?
I feel like something's kind of disorganized.
Land, 162.9, 80,000. I don't understand this. This is crazy.
Well, here's Rapid Lube, that's 60,000.
Connemara is directly across the street,
Yeah.
and it's 80,000,
Right,
but Brent is 40. Half that.
Rapid Lube 60, Rapid Street.
So 60 kind of seems to be somewhat normal for,
For the first 2 acres.
oh no, Brand is 40.
Yep.
Well, see, look, now the old one though, the old one had him at 60,000.
Yeah.
It almost seems like they were, I don't know how much they look at each property, but it almost seems like they were trying to make it make sense by taking the value down to 40 because they put so many acres on it.
Exactly.
So you do the 1.5 at 60 and then the 5.5 at 9 for the residual.
Yeah,
I think
That kind of.
that's what I think, yeah.
And then on the building, it seems like the buildings are all over the place. So I don't know how you,
This is David's.
Yeah.
$36.55, but depreciation on all of them.
because that number is weird. We don't know what they're putting for
They
depreciation.
depreciated these two. 56.35, 56.20 depreciation. Let's see if we did that.
Yeah, this is A&M. This doesn't help, or doesn't do anything for us.
And then that's 7.640. All right, so just for the land value for Brant's, doing it our way takes him back to where it was pretty much before. On the building values, 20, they doubled. Went from 20 a square foot before to 56 a square foot now, but depreciated 20. So it's 30 a square foot, so it didn't go up that much. And the smaller building, 56 a square down to 30. So I think the only thing we can do would maybe to depreciate the building more on the bigger spot, from 20 to maybe at least the same on the other one.
Yeah.
Because David Jones has got some at 36% depreciation, 20 to 20, that's a newer building though too. So what if we took Brant's, on the additions part, the 2,800 to 56, 35, I think we leave alone. But the bigger part, the 6,400 square foot, 56, but take depreciation from 20 to 35 to match the other one.
Yeah.
I mean, that only seems fair. And really, the interior of the building, we've been back there, I mean, it's really no different. I mean,
Yeah.
I could see if one was like brand spanking new but what do y'all think about that?
Sounds good to me.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, as far as, your corrections, I agree.
All right. All right, for UDs, 3450. For the land, we're gonna do 1.5 acres at 60,000 an acre. The remaining 5.564, wait a minute. Yeah, 5.564 instead of 40,000 an acre, 9,000 an acre.
All that residual.
Call it residual, yes, I'm sorry. And then under the additions, under B, the building 6,400 square foot, at $56 a square foot. The change we're making is the depreciation on that, taking it from 20 to 35.
That's the 6,400 square foot.
Yep, so that's the addition B.
B,
B as in boy. And that's a wrap.
Yep, we're getting kicked to the curb, as it
Hey,
were.
We're right on time though for